A bulldozer operator also killed this week. I
know.
Okay, we're up.
If I see him, I know.
Well, yeah, of course you will.
Let's see why.
I'm just curious. I see him all the time.
Okay.
I think he's the comptroller.
They would be on the third.
Nah, he's definitely on this floor. In fact, he's in between. He's right next to Spence. If you're looking at Spence's office, he's on the right. He kind of looks like an old rock and roller, man. He's a cool guy. I mean, he definitely is a cool guy.
That President Trump is open to visiting Moscow, but she suggested he's yet to receive a formal invitation from Russian President Vladimir Putin.
What's shaking, Jeff?
Trump had initially invited
just my reality.
What's that?
Reality.
How are you?
Been doing good, man.
Believes it should take place after, in his words, the Russia.
Tom, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing well, Mike. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I treat you. Right.
Your kids are cute as hell.
Thanks. I don't think we've
Oh, I'm Dan.
Mark,
Yeah.
that why
Just wait till they get
This
home.
is your first time here, then? huh?
Sir?
why can
No, I was doing the
I had it
the lighter program for a long time.
Pretty sure I had it shipped directly here. I'll check with Corey.
Okay.
And
It didn't come to my house yesterday.
Because Lowe's is where pros find the
Just
hardware
put him here.
brands they can rely on.
Is there a mic there? Yeah, there's Al's coming in.
Oh, Al, yeah.
Oh, Al's coming in?
Pneumatic
So
nailers.
who you want?
Come in today.
Where?
You can
Well,
save
Clint's not in here today, right?
Oh, he's gonna leave at 11.
Jeez, man, he needs to, I don't know what to do on that. I don't even want to talk about it now, but my God.
So, pro, now that you know,
What else
start
can you
with
say,
Lowe's.
right?
Offer valid through 7/29 while supplies last. See store for details.
Every mom's favorite
Is that
word.
wrong?
I don't like giving into fucking jerk offs.
Sneakers, backpacks, one more thing
I don't
they
think
can't
you should
live
give it
without.
to them.
Don't
I
worry,
wouldn't.
you'll find lots to
But,
live
I mean,
for. With
you know, we
new
talk
deliveries
about
every
business
week,
decisions.
we'll scoop up big style
You know what the guy told Tom?
entire family, the whole
He'd burn a
family
pile of
on.
fucking cash
Even
before he
more
gave the guy a refund at
on
Granite
top of
Depot.
Foreman's amazing deal, there's
He
cheap
said he
rewards.
would burn a pile of cash.
I thought he would go to a strip bar and spend it. I think
I will go to the strip bar before I refund him.
I will burn a stripper.
I will burn a stripper before I refund him.
Or someone you know is abusing alcohol, prescription drugs, hard illegal.
It's such a weird business decision to make.
I think that guy must have super pissed.
Dude, he fucking went out and picketed a week
Yeah,
straight.
you do that all the time.
I haven't done it for a long time.
720-893-5559.
It's always worked.
Yeah, but I've never had to do it 5 days straight, that's for sure.
The Raleigh House is a premier addiction recovery program.
The problem is he met a guy that drew the line.
To someone local about different treatment options, all
Yeah, but still, I mean,
evidence-based treatment
you're right.
designed to
Business
help
decisions,
reduce
he doesn't
substance
wanna-
abuse. No more excuses, no more denial.
They can-
Get the help
sir.
you need.
Hey, you're welcome, man.
Health insurance covers.
I don't know. I don't know.
Obligation consultation. The Raleigh House, 720.
It's like Obama and his fucking red line. Don't you cross that line, Syria. No chemical weapons. Well, like a week later.
Oh, so he's not like it.
It's nice we have a president now that's not only kind and courteous, but strong.
Other providers don't.
Is your GDP, Tom, 4.1%?
It's Obama, according to Martino. Obama lined it up.
No way.
He just,
Trump's knocking it down.
Calls from any of your devices appear to come from your business number. Them, not so much.
Guess who I got coming out today?
Business Smart Office. Let's
Sam
keep an eye on your
No.
business.
I'll give you a hint.
Call 1-800-501-6000 to get
He cleans carpets.
Oh, okay.
Mike's coming out.
For $34.90 more per month.
I do, man. I like Mike, too. He finally got smart. Suzanne's it on his website now.
You're right.
It's 100 for the house, but if you have them do the basement, it's an additional whatever.
Or 3 stories, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he'll do a whole house for $100.
No.
Not anymore.
100 something.
Retirement can
140.
last 20.
Under 200 every year.
Oh,
Oh, dude, it's so cheap.
Yeah.
And I've had him out. Tom's had him out. He does a
I've had
fucking
him
great
on
job.
No,
No, I don't think so.
Were
you? So my house, I got probably 3,000 square feet of fucking carpet. So he knocks it out. I couldn't pay him $129. I couldn't do it. I gave him $200. I couldn't fucking sleep if I gave him $129 to that. It's crazy. But he says where it equals out. He'll go to a lot of apartments and stuff where he's in and out that quick. But he doesn't try to upsell you. You know, he puts down everything.
Yeah, free treats.
Yeah, he puts down the pet stuff. He does everything. He doesn't show up and go, oh, okay, well, if you really want me to clean it, you got to buy this or that. Oh, my God, he's crazy good.
And this might be a slow time right now. So
No, last time we mentioned him, he booked 75 people in 3 hours.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here, your troubleshooter. This is a show where we discuss everyday life, everything you need to make your life a little easier. Help, information, and referrals this hour brought to you by Fix-It 24/7, fixmyhome.com. That's Fix-It 24/7, fixmyhome.com, where you'll see all of their specials. The one I like, and they've allowed me to do 10 of them today, is where you get an expert to your home for $39, guaranteed $39 to find any problem with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains. Once they identify the problem, if you get it fixed, they're going to credit you $77. So you don't pay that $39, plus you get $77 off. And you will never get a better value for the same work, products, and service ever. So you got a problem with an outlet and you never knew what to do, or some electrical problem, and you're now tied to $39, nothing more, not a dime more to get an expert to your house. Listen, it costs them more than that to get there. They're just hoping you let them do the work. And when they do the work, they give you $77 off. So, fixmyhome.com, 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939. So, Rich, it's car day. You want to talk about a title. What's going on, Rich?
I repaired a vehicle for a company, and they have never paid for the bill, and I have possession of the truck, and I want to sell the truck for the repair money.
Are you in the business?
Yes, I am.
And you've never had to do this before?
Never, ever. Only had threatened it, but never had to do it.
It's called a mechanic's lien, which is apropos for being in the biz. Now, Jeff Vick is with Kimmer Transmission. He's our guest today for Car Day. You know, today is Car Day. On Fridays, we talk all cars, not just cars, but as much cars as we can. If people call in about something else, that's fine, too. Now, we also have Tom Maggio with us from Hands On Auto Tech up north on Vistiview Drive, Longmont. That's basically what and what, Tom? What are those cross streets?
The big cross streets are I-25 and 119.
Yeah. I-25 and 119, you're not far from...
we're not far from that intersection.
From Century RV.
That's correct. Yeah, we're around the corner from Century.
Okay. Yep. So, anyway, let's talk about this, guys. Have you ever had to do this, where you took a title and went and got the car and sold the car or whatever? Is the car in your possession?
Yes, it is. And it's a truck. It's a 2012 Chevy Duramax box.
Now it's leased, which complicates things, but I believe mechanics liens supersede everything.
They do, and it makes it actually better because chances are the bank's going to pay him.
But he wants to get title. That's what he's calling about.
No, you're not going to get title. You're going to get paid.
Yeah, you'd have to pay the bill off before you can get the title. But often you can get a hold of whoever's actually holding that note, and they will actually pay the bill, take the truck from you, and you get your money.
Yeah, because they have a ton of collateral.
I've already called the leasing company, and he does not want to pay the bill. That's why I want to do it like a
what leasing company is this?
I don't really want to say that.
Why? It's a leasing company. Why do you care?
I don't have a beef with him, and that's the problem.
When you say him, is it like an individual? Are we talking about a lease?
No, it's a major leasing company in Centennial. But I don't want to say anything bad about them.
Something sounds weird.
There are no major leasing companies in Centennial. So okay, I'm confused. But in any case, you got to foreclose on the car, meaning you have to to
obtain title to sell it, and then bond around it, doing the
what you do is you have to pay it off, or you have to put it up for auction. I mean, there's a process for a mechanics lien, an entire process. And, Rich, it's actually better if you hire an attorney to do it because they put their fees on top of everything. And they become part of what you collect.
The guy could be upside down in this thing, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they are upside down, and I believe that the vehicle is worth about what they owe me for this repair and previous repair.
But how can it be just worth that if it's leased? Is it a new lease or a used lease?
I believe it's a used lease. It's a 2012 truck with a brand new engine in it, but it still has 100,000 miles on it.
So this guy did not lease it from new then?
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I know we've worked on the truck for several years.
Well, the first thing you have to do is a title search. You got to do all of that and find
I already have my verified VIN. Was going to do the title search.
Good. That's the first thing.
I'm looking for. Am I going the right direction?
Well, you put a lien on it. That's the first thing you do. You keep the truck, and then they don't care now if he's making his payments. But if you keep possession, you have possession right now, right?
Correct.
If you keep it, they're going to care. They're going to care when they can't get paid.
And you're getting $20 a day storing it.
Right. They're going to care. Now, go ahead.
There's a time limit for him to file the lien in Colorado, too. He has 120 days
that's a long time,
to get this taken care of.
That's a long time.
I don't know how long
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you're going to get done in that amount of time. How long has it been since the completion of work?
Almost a year.
Oh, well, you're done. Okay,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Thank you, Tom, for mentioning that. I assumed it just happened.
It doesn't mean he's done. He might not be able to do the lien, but he's still in possession of the vehicle no matter how we look at it.
Because this is an open account. This is not an individual person that walks in the door. An open account has different rules to it.
It actually doesn't. It doesn't for a specific mechanics lien. It does for bill collection, but not for an individual. If you did a repair on a truck or on a car
or on a house, for
it doesn't matter if it's an open account. If it's on that vehicle, you have a certain amount of time till the end of when you did the work on that vehicle.
Well, when I obtained the vehicle, that's how I repossessed the vehicle legally, because they reported it stolen when I repossessed it. And how I got it, I do not have that piece of paper in front of me, but there's a specific Colorado code that
how long after the repair did you repossess it?
9 months later, because I gave.
I don't know how the hell you did it.
Everything in the chance to make a payment.
I don't know how you did it, but they reported it stolen. At best, the police officer said, well, we're not going to get involved. It's a civil matter, which is
they went through it. They went through it all the way through, and I had to show all my paperwork and everything that went through there. And Lakewood said, yes, it's a civil matter, and I don't believe they have the money. That's why I just don't want to sue them. That's why I want to sell the truck.
Right. Well,
man, you grabbed it after 9 months. Just put it on Craigslist and sell it.
He can't. I mean,
I don't have a title.
I know you don't.
Yeah, what Mark is saying, you already broke procedure. We don't even know how you got the truck legally. So whatever you're doing,
I did it correctly through this process, and with the demand for payment, all this other stuff, and did it without.
Well, you must have done it then. You must have done it before the deadline.
Correct.
You must have done it way back. You did that demand for payment and kept it alive or something. Something
right,
you did.
And I'm just now am trying to.
So you put a lien on it. You put a lien on it almost a year ago.
Right.
Yeah, that's a different story. He's already done the process and took the car. So he did do it right. And Tom is correct. There's a deadline. He met the deadline, and then he only waited. And you can do that. You can file a lien and wait a long time to repossess it.
Well, there's a second part of the... So Colorado law requires a mechanics lien be enforced within 6 months of the date the project was completed.
It's just like a property lien.
And then
he's got to bring them to court and win.
And then if it's not enforced, the lien will expire.
But it doesn't matter because there's no equity. So he can't get paid because anything that you sell that truck to first goes to the first lien holder. In other words, you don't get paid first, they do, then you get paid.
That's why they're not agreeing to pay you, because they know they're going to get paid when you sell it.
So, let's say the truck is worth how much, Rich?
I say that the truck's worth maybe $25,000 to $30,000.
Okay, let's say $25,000. And if he owes on the lease $25,000 or $30,000, what does he owe? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay, if he owes... Whatever he owes on the lease will be paid first. So The question is, how much are you owed?
I'm owed $21,000.
Okay, you're never going to get paid. So you have a losing proposition. If you sell the car tomorrow for $30,000, and they, okay, let's say you do, or you put it up for auction, that $25,000 goes to, or whatever the balance of the lease goes to them first. You get what's left over. But I'm not sure what the process is. What's
so
that?
I should just hold on to the truck forever and nobody
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm telling you the truth.
That's the help I'm looking for.
I need, well, that's what we're going to find out for you. I mean, you didn't call to hear me say I don't know. We're going to find out.
I bet Bob the car guy might have some insight.
We're going to find out on perfecting a lien on a car. Al just walked in from Pro Auto Care. Al, have you ever had to repossess and sell a car for a mechanic's lien ever? Yes or no?
No. The
Okay,
ones we
then-
typically have wind up getting taken by a tow company because they're junkers.
Yeah.
The good ones are usually never there.
Okay, so we need to talk to an attorney familiar with this because it's a secured. I wonder if it works like a house. In other words, do people get to own the thing? When it goes up for auction, who gets to own it? I mean, if there is more money owed, is the leasing company still in possession? In other words, you can't own it until you pay off the lease.
I would think it's very similar to a house.
Well, with a house, the lender owns the place, and what the mortgage lender usually does is they usually bid what they're owed. So anyone else who bids more gets it and they don't care if there's money.
And then pays themselves.
They pay them. Well, no. If somebody bids more, they pay off the loan, and then the debt, whoever the other guy is, who's ever in second position, gets it. But here's what I need to know: in a car, if it's auctioned, see, in a home, if it's auctioned and the first lien holder does not bid, what happens? I mean, really, in a house, they always bid what they're owed. What if they don't? I don't know. I mean, what if they don't? I believe they lose the house. So could this leasing company lose that truck?
Yeah, but why would the leasing company not bid on it if they're owned? He just said the vehicle's worth $21,000, even if...
Or 25 to 30.
Whatever it is, no matter what, why wouldn't they want the vehicle back? That part doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. We need, Suzanne, we need some help. And truly, I have actually never had a mechanic, or it's been so many years ago, I don't remember, the actual process. I mean, I don't mean someone who thinks they know. I mean someone who has actually taken a car, sold it, and got paid. I want to know, does the lien holder, the first lien holder, the bank, or the leasing company...
How about Frank, our collection attorney?
Do they get... Frank Ball might know. Do they get paid first, or do they lose their rights too? So you hang on, and we'll help you, Rich, okay? I mean, it's a good question. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Flexident, it's car day. I want to remind you, Flexident has openings for your car for paintless dent repair. Everyone agrees. There's no dispute on what's a better repair. It's paintless dent repair. If your paint is not damaged, paintless dent repair. It does not detract a penny from the value of your car, and it's in and out quickly. The debate is not whether or not paintless dent repair is the way to go. The debate is where to go once you pick paintless dent repair. And I'm telling you, Flexident of Colorado.com, because of Nick, the master techs. He owns it, and his many years of experience, and all of his staff, immediate openings, good people. Flexident of Colorado.com, 303-619-6273.
Try to get her rod. Will she come on?
This is really, I've never actually, in years,
I'm almost sure it's exactly like a house.
But Mark, with a house, remember this, if that mortgage company does not bid,
That's right.
I believe that they lose.
No, they don't lose. If someone else bids and win, they still have to pay off that first lien.
I don't know if they do, Mark. Honest to God, I don't know if they do.
But they sure risk losing a shitload of money.
Mark, the question is, if they do have to pay off that first, then why does the bank bid what they're owed. Why? Why do they do that? Why does the bank always bid what they're owed?
Because anything over that, they're not going to get anyhow. They don't give a shit. They're not going to get it anyhow.
I know, but why then would? Okay, but what you're saying is they're always going to get paid anyway. That's what you're telling me. So why bid? If what you're saying is true, if they're owed $100,000,
because they don't want someone else coming in and bidding less than what is owed.
Why?
Because then they are only going to get what that amount.
No, you told me that person still has to pay off the loan. I mean,
well, they figure they're never going to see that.
No. I don't think that they would still have to pay it. I think if the property sells for X amount under, say, even a foreclosure,
so if you
an auction,
if I'm a bank,
yeah,
and he owes me $100 on the house,
and you foreclose,
and I foreclose,
and I come in at $80,000,
I only get 80.
You would only get 80.
That's what I'm thinking, which means that's why I bid.
Always bid the less.
But
what doesn't make? At least what you're owed, because if I bid 110, you're still only going to get 100.
Right, or what I'm owed, right, with collection fees.
And then if he held a second mortgage of 10,000 and I bid 110, you get 100, he get 10.
No, that's true.
And I get the house for 110. Well, here's what makes no sense about this. There's nobody that has a security of 25,000 that's just going to say, fuck.
But once the bank, did you know this? Once the bank bids what they're owed, they can resell it for anything they want.
Well,
the creditor gets nothing.
But it's a true auction.
But the creditor gets nothing. I mean, the debtor gets nothing.
Yeah.
So in the public auction, the debtor gets the leftover, but not after it's auctioned.
So they can still come after you for the residual.
No. Banks have often bid on.
Not only that, Jeff, they can turn around and if you had a second or something, they can actually hit you with a tax fucking bill. So you lose your house, you don't get the deficiency, but if you had a second in some circumstances that was written down, they'll give you a fucking piece of paper saying you made another $30,000 that year.
Only if they write it off. They can still chase you for it.
Correct.
Or any portion thereof.
Yeah. It's fucking
so this guy had called before, I don't know if you remember him. This is White Fence Farms. The truck that won't pay for is White Fence Farms.
I think that place is going under, isn't it? But I mean,
yes, I like that.
If I had a truck that the bill, it was worth $20,000 to $25,000 or $25,000 to $30,000 and a $20,000 bill on it, I'm not going to buy the dang thing back either. I'm going to sit on it until this thing does go through the process. Because otherwise, now I'm sitting on a 45.
You mean if you're the leasing company?
Yeah.
Well, the leasing company's guessing this guy doesn't own the vehicle. He didn't go through the proper channels. Because if he went through the proper channels and did everything he's supposed to, that vehicle should be his by now. If the leasing company said we're not going to do anything. So he hasn't done it.
I got stuck in limbo on that years ago when I was working with B&M over off of Evans and T-Hone. We had one just like that. They refused to pay for it. We could not get title. They wrapped that thing up, had that car for 6 years.
Really?
I got a guy.
That's what I used to call JJ, and he'd fucking come grab anything.
Well, he got the car.
I know. No. I'm saying JJ would come not just get junk cars. He would just fucking handle shit.
Oh, okay.
JJ handled a lot of shit.
I have a guy that I actually got a number from Brian Grossi, and he does titles and shops and cars that either owe money or cars that have been abandoned. And I got a phone number for this guy.
I remember a guy that
Brian said he
came around to my shops years ago, and that's all he did was that. He must go to all the shops.
This guy does, and Brian said he's fabulous. So I have a car right now.
Our guy Frank Ball's got to be able to know how to do this. But see if that dude will come on if you can get him.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see.
We'll be filling in. Now, I know he's a goober, so maybe you can cut him some slack.
JJ's the guy that came and grabbed that vehicle with the boot on.
Oh, okay.
Where I had to slip him a 10.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter. I'm telling you that because Cam Solar is making a special offer to all of my listeners. They will give you a special analysis of your lot to see if solar is advisable. Now, you may think, oh, yeah, that's just a gimmick. Everybody is going to be told they need solar and it'll be great. That's not true. Based on the exposure of your roof line and the position of your house, and they can do that through imagery if you give them that information, they will be able to find out what kind of production you will have over 20 years. They guarantee 20 years of production, and they also will give you a parts and labor warranty bumper to bumper. So if you're interested in solar, you own the system, not lease, go to Go Cam Solar, this website, Go, that's part of the website, gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter. It's eye-opening. gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter. Okay, so I have, we're trying to get our esteemed collection attorney on, expert, I should say, and I say ours as an expert because he does collections mainly for businesses. So he's not on the referral list. He works for businesses, and we want to get just his take on this. Frank Ball is a collection attorney, as I said, works mostly for businesses, and he has a great knowledge in this area. Frank, we don't know the procedure in a lien on a car, a mechanic's lien, who then repossesses the car and sells it. We don't know. For example, in a foreclosure, usually when a lender repossesses a home or forecloses on a home, they bid exactly what they're owed plus collection costs for the public auction. So in case someone bids less, they are guaranteed to get the property, and then they can resell it. But what I need to know is, and then of course if somebody bids more than they're owed, of course the bank gets paid off. Does it happen like that with a car in a public auction? Like, would the leasing company come in and literally bid on that truck? Or how does it work? This car is, or this truck is leased, and this man is owed a lot of money, and he has the truck in his possession through a mechanic's lien. What happens next?
Well, it's good that he has the truck in his possession, because in terms of the mechanic's lien, he doesn't have to give the truck to anyone until and unless he gets paid. So the question is, who has the higher possessory interest, which basically means who gets to keep the truck for the time being. And it would seem that until the lien would have a higher possessory interest. So he doesn't have to give up anything until he gets paid. He can keep the vehicle, and then if in fact the next thing happens, I mean, I'm unsure why they would do an auction. Typically, if it's going to get repossessed, they would pay off the repairs on the vehicle, then they would get the possession of the vehicle, then they would then they would sell the vehicle, and then
Frank, what I'm asking is this. You're right about that. I'm not assuming there's an auction. That's what I asked. It might be all wrong. What is the process for this guy to get paid? He has the truck. What if the owner is saying, go to hell, I'm not going to pay it, I don't even want the truck anymore, and then the leasing company says, we're not paying that bill? What happens? This man, this mechanic, Rich, has the truck but no title.
He's owed about $21,000, and the vehicle's the lien is worth about $21,000.
Well, let's say that doesn't matter. What is the process when I have a truck in my possession? I do not have title. I'm a mechanic. I have a lien, but there's an earlier lien. I don't know if there's senior and junior liens on vehicles like on real estate, but the original lien is the lease. So what happens?
Well, again, he should never give up the vehicle until he figures out what's going on.
Right.
If it's true what you say, that the owner doesn't take it back. Well, yes, the owner.
Right.
The owner of the truck doesn't want to pay him the $21,000, then he's not going to get his money, but he still has possession of the vehicle.
Right.
So then the next situation is, I would have, if he knows who the person who has the mortgage, or
the leasing company.
If he knows who that is, I'd have him call him up.
He did. They said they wouldn't pay it.
They don't want to pay it because it's virtually the same amount.
They don't want to pay it. So
then he has to file an action with the court and say, I have a higher possessory interest than the leasing company, and because I have a higher possessory interest than the leasing company, I want title. I want the clerk to issue title to this vehicle. I want to be able to sell the vehicle, and when I sell the vehicle, I will pay the $22,000 that's owed. then I will give the any other monies left over to the leasing company, and then the leasing company, if they so desire, they can go back to the owner and sue him for the deficiency in the vehicle.
Okay, now, what makes a higher possessory status?
Well, the lien does in this particular case.
But why can't the leasing company say, wait, we had a lien on this vehicle way before you did, or a lender, let's say?
Well, I think the answer is because he's exercising his mechanic's lien right.
All right.
And when it's a mechanic's lien and it's a vehicle, they've got all kinds of rights. It's not the same as if it's a homeowner and you're talking about a subcontractor. That's a lesser right. And so I would go in and go that route. And then what would have to happen is the leasing company would have to come in on what's called a replevin action. And then the leasing company would have to say, no, I have a higher possessory interest, but I don't think they do because of the mechanic's lien. And if they don't want it anyway, then who cares? He will be forced to do all the work. He will be forced to go to court. He will be forced to get a title for the vehicle, then sell the vehicle, and then pay himself the money. How much is the vehicle worth?
The vehicle is only worth about $25, and this man,
so he breaks even.
The mechanic's is owed $21. That's right.
Well, with the costs and with everything else, he'll break even, and who knows if he'll get really the 25. So
no, right. He may have a loss.
Well, and if he has the loss, then he can go after the owner for the difference in the money that was owed. But I wouldn't give up the vehicle no matter what.
Okay.
And I would make sure that vehicle cannot be repossessed by the leasing company.
Now, how do you make... Oh, that's why you have it in your possession. You hide it from him, basically. So, Rich, you are the mechanic. Frank Ball, an attorney, is on the line. He's very knowledgeable. Do you have a specific question that was not addressed?
No, I believe I didn't realize it was a go-to-court thing. I thought it was a petition for bond and bond around the vehicle and wait for a response, and then somebody had a certain amount of time to respond to me. Then I could obtain title.
That's in a towing. I mean, I believe that's like you're talking about storage or something.
That's why I was saying I thought it worked the same way. I mean, that's how a record company would sell your vehicle if you didn't pay your tow bill.
Well, Frank does more collections in a year than anyone I know. No, I'm serious.
I guess I need to call him.
Yeah, if you want. I don't know if Frank handles stuff like this. Now, here's the bottom line. You know, Frank would put his fees in there, but if there's not enough to get, you're still going to be responsible to pay him if you don't net enough out of this truck. You understand that?
Totally understand that, but right now I'm out $21,000.
I think Frank
on a boat anchor.
Are we assuming though that this lien's been perfected? Right? I mean, Frank isn't that a big part of it?
Hold on, though. Rich already. I'm assuming. Okay, let's assume that. Let's not dissect it now. That's something Frank can do. But I'm assuming, Mark, that if he has possession and the law let him repossess it and did not demand him to give it back, that he must have done the lien correctly and must have done the repossession correctly.
Well, he's still got to go to court within the 6 months to perfect that lien. I mean, Frank, is that true?
That's typically in more construction type situations, you have to perfect it within a 6-month period. In terms of mechanic's lien for a vehicle, you automatically have a mechanic's lien for a vehicle because you have the vehicle. And if nobody's going to pay you, you just have to jump through the hoops to get the money.
Okay, so here's the deal. What you should do, Rich, is go see Frank and see if he'll do it for you. If you need a great collection attorney, businesses out there, and I say that because I'm sure consumers, if you're owed $25,000 from a relative, he's not going to. I'm not sure, but I don't think he'll take it. But if you're a business, if you need a collection attorney, 303-629-7000. He's the best. He's the best. 303-629-7000. Now, I mean that's all he does. Now, we have some attorneys that will do collections for people from time to time, and they're regular clients. Brandon Siglian's a good guy. He'll do it, but it's a different kind of thing. If you're a landlord, he'll do it. If you're one of his clients, he'll do it. Simply Floors, Inc. You've heard me talk about it, right? Simply Floors, Inc. for simple savings. And I mean savings. It's a simple formula. These big boxes and these mills and these outlets buy carpeting and tile and floor coverings and wood and laminates and engineered flooring all at a certain price. Well, Simply Floors Inc., they buy for the same price. Yeah, they have the same buying power because they're in a buying group of independent floor covering contractors all over the country. Buddy Mitchell, here in Denver, said, I'm going to do this and sell it cheaper than even those guys. So now you're going to have a smaller vendor, in spirit that is, you know, he's not a big corporate conglomerate, and you're going to have better prices. So I'm going to give you personalized service, designer services. You're going to get the best of service and the best of pricing, up to 40% sometimes over the big boxes, mills, and outlets. SimplyFloorsInc.com. You can drop by 52nd and War Southwest corner or make an appointment in your home at SimplyFloorsInc.com.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
Before, this is a White Fence Farm truck, and you probably remember that.
That's him?
He's not White Fence Farm. That's the truck.
Wait, is it from White Fence Farm?
Yes, they're the ones that lease this truck.
The farm?
The White Fence Farm restaurant.
That's a good restaurant and a good family, and they've been around for years.
They won't do it. So
yeah, but why would you? If you owed me $22,000, why would they pay the mechanic off if there's nothing? What do they give a shit? That's the one part I don't understand where you guys are coming from.
They told him to fix it.
Why did they?
Did
you call White Fence Farms?
Huh? Did I call them?
And what the hell did they do with a 2012 truck for $22,000?
Diesel engine.
Diesel engine.
Diesel engine.
Brand new
It's
diesel engine.
so backwards to do the repairs on some of that stuff.
I don't even understand why the leasing company, I don't care who they are, why they would ever pay off something that is around what they're owed on the vehicle. It makes no sense.
So apparently,
And they did it. That's the whole thing. They wouldn't, and they did it.
The White Fence Farm employee put transmission fluid in the urea tank, and I guess that's
In the urethra?
Yeah, the you know.
Urethra?
Yeah.
And then
Is that urethra?
No, that's in your kidney.
No, there's urea.
Urea.
Tank.
What's urea?
Yeah, that fluid. It's a fluid that reacts to heat, basically. It's the best way to describe it, right?
Yeah.
Heat burns all the buildup of the filter.
You got to have it on diesels now.
Yeah.
All of them have. All the new trucks, you know, those old trucks drive around town, they no longer make black smoke because they got a cartridge that collects
Reburns it?
And it reburns it.
Urea says, I want that smoke.
Goes in a regen mode.
Okay.
Did you know on that stuff too? It has a shelf life. It has an expiration date. You gotta go look at it.
They have more problems with it going bad in hot areas than they do.
Yes, they do.
Oh, really?
And the problem with the fluid too is that it freezes. And so when they have them in your vehicle and you're driving around, it's not working. When
Guy
it's
was in an accident. He was at fault 3 years ago. Now he's being sued for $100 grand.
Yes.
That sucks.
Okay.
You
He
know,
doesn't
tell
know
you
much.
something funny?
Did an
White
insurance
Fence Farm
settlement? He
offers
says, well, I thought so.
I love it.
But
I
he
would
doesn't
too.
really know.
Listen, we'll settle straight up for a bucket of chicken.
$21,000 worth of
A
chicken.
life.
A life
So the
20
White
grand in
Fence Farm
chicken.
people sold in 2014 to new owners.
Oh, so they're not even the same
Yeah,
people.
it's not the family
Yeah,
anymore.
it's not the thing.
Right.
Yeah, I
That
heard that place was going under. And then they were closed. Well, they closed a lot of locations, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, the 4 locations they pulled in, but they still have apparently.
They were starting these branches too.
Yes, sir.
These
They
little
opened up
guys.
here at the Pepsi Center.
Yes, I think
There
that's
was one
where
at the
the-
Pepsi
I
Center,
think
and they
that's
opened
where
up one
But
at
they
Green.
closed, didn't they?
They probably
Yeah.
learned real
Yeah.
quick
It's on their website.
expansions
Green
of
Valley
it.
Ranch. Green Valley Ranch. Right
I
off
think
the
they're going to
highway.
fail the whole thing. I think they're going under.
Is that kind of chicken?
Are they going under?
It's fucking chicken. How special can it be?
It's good chicken. And they serve you a plate full of.
Suzanne makes good chicken. I'm not
They serve
opening
you
a
a
fucking
plate full
restaurant.
of beets. Okay, beets. Beets, right? Did I use them beets?
And cottage cheese.
Yeah, it's fabulous. You think it sucks, but it's
That
good.
sounds horrible.
No, it's
have all
good.
these little side dishes that people love.
Yeah, fabulous.
Well, they
stuff.
used to.
So you think they're out of the Pepsi Center because they're still on their website?
I thought the last time I went, they were not serving you. They were
Did
closed.
they sell though? Because that family had it forever. They sold. And they're not from Colorado.
Well, I would hope they're from the South that they're making
Did
fried
they?
chicken.
Hold on.
right?
Did they sell?
Seriously? No, I've not heard
You
it.
said they
You know
sold.
they sold?
Yeah, they
I
sold
know,
in
that's
2014
what Tom had said, that they had sold.
14.
to Tom Caldwell and somebody else. 2 guys bought it.
And that's
What is it?
what
White
Would
Farm?
you want to
White
get
Fence
into the
Farm.
restaurant business?
Oh, God, no. Or the bar business? No way, Jose.
How about the custom food truck?
That I'd be down for.
The food truck might be a deal, but to open a restaurant's like, are you ready to work 70 hours, 80 hours a week? I mean, it's.
I was going to buy Suzanne years back with
So
right before Park Meadows
restaurant
opened
Lakewood's still going?
a coffee cart.
But they
Wait,
close a
in
lot
the
of
thing?
the
Yeah,
other
a kiosk in the mall.
That would be great at the
I wonder
airport.
if those
She
things make
fucking,
any
she
money.
was like,
You would make a ton of money.
he was
At
like,
the airport.
killing me.
You gotta pay.
No, but rent at the airport's
You
huge.
pay it. You pay it.
But if you would have been one of the
Craig
first
Caldwell
ones
and
at the
Tom
Here's
airport,
Park Meadows.
or United, you know, when, oh shoot.
Then, not long ago, 5-6 years ago, I was going to get her a mini donut stand out at the outlet
She
mall.
didn't do it?
Once again, she shot it down.
What? Who has the...
I was going to put her to work.
And look at what the avenues led her to, the Martino show.
She could be out selling donuts right now, making a fortune.
She's able to
And
put
they
it
were
on.
mini donuts.
And you'd have donuts every night.
Are you still thinking about if I buy that mini donut cart, you'll sell them down at the outlet malls for me?
My was on my list.
Why?
I just got off the phone with Doreen.
What happened?
I said, I want to bring this stuff back to you. Oh no, I'm so sick. She goes, I'm calling the police, and your daughter and you and Barb are going to be thrown in jail. You stole stuff.
Oh no.
She loves me. I don't
Hi,
know.
Tom Martino here, Art Granite. When I say those words, you should say yes. You can call right now and get a price on the phone for your granite project or your quartz or marble or whatever. He's a direct stone importer. He does countertops. That's it in a nutshell. Now, he does have cabinets, too, for a small markup from the manufacturer. But the granite and stone, all of the solid surface materials, wholesale, never more. You can buy from him or on his account. You can use his account to buy wholesale elsewhere. He only charges for fabrication and installation, never for tear out and haul away, never for the bathroom when you have the kitchen done. So get your quote on the phone from Art of Granite. Truly, the work is like a work of art. artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919. Get your quote, 303-386-5919 or artofgranite.net. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Tyler, what's going on with you, Tyler?
Hey, yeah, I just got a summons yesterday. I'm kind of young, and I have no clue how to deal with it. So
What's going on with you, Tyler? What's happening?
Well, I got in a car accident about 3 years ago. It was my fault. I thought everything was okay, and then, I got the summons. It looks like it's for a medical bill.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just under 3 years to get under the statute of limitations.
Yes.
And Tyler, did they actually file a lawsuit? And you've been served?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, now, in that accident, if you can remember back, whose fault was it?
It was mine.
And were you ticketed?
Yes.
Did you have insurance?
Yes.
And did they put in a claim with your insurance?
I believe so.
You never followed through to find out?
I was on my dad's insurance at the time, so
okay.
he probably dealt with it.
Okay, that would be the right answer. Did you talk to your dad to see if they paid?
Not at the moment. No, I haven't yet.
Usually, if your insurance company pays, they would demand full and final settlement. Usually. Now, there's a few problems here. If they never contacted your insurance or dropped the ball because they have insurance, then your insurance isn't going to remind you, like, hey, Tyler, or whoever your dad is. They're not going to say, by the way, this is still out there. You better go get him so we can pay it off. They'll ignore it. They hope it goes away. So, here's what's happening. Now, there's some good news in this, too. You're still covered for that incident if they did not get paid. If they did get paid, you got a problem if they didn't make them sign a full and final settlement. I'm suspecting your company maybe didn't pay, but you're still covered. I mean, you can go back in time and get covered, but here's the deal. I don't know why it wasn't dealt with before. Who is suing you now? First, is it the insurance company or them?
It looks like the person I hit herself is suing me.
Well, that tells you they did not put in a claim with their insurance company, and they're not trying to get, it's not subrogation. from another insurance company. They are collecting personally. They're trying to collect. Now, are they represented by an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. You need, this is kind of dangerous. You should probably get an attorney. Okay? You really should. But I would be inclined to first call, I would just say, ask, was anything paid on this at all from my insurance company? Or go to your insurance company. Do you still have the same insurance?
I do not.
Does he?
No.
Okay. He has to go back and research the time that he was insured if they paid on it. And if they did, you have to ask for the file. I would find it astounding if they paid a dime without full and final settlement.
I can't imagine. One quick question, though. How old were you when this happened?
22, 25, something like that.
I got it. I was just wondering if he was less than 18 because it was his dad's insurance 3 years ago.
But he could still be liable even if he was under 18. I mean, minors can be held responsible. So here's the deal. We need to find out from our personal injury attorney probably what the story is, or you can call him too, John Fuller. Now, John Fuller, he represents people who are injured, you see. So, I mean, it's not something I don't think you would hire him for, or maybe you would, but it's something that when something like this happens, you should call him. Like, for example, back then, you should have called a personal injury attorney and said, hey, you know, I wasn't hurt, but I think someone else was. Or if you're hurt, you should call and say, what are my responsibilities? What are my rights? Always consult an attorney, always. You think there's no injuries, nothing's going to happen, don't assume it. Don't ever assume it. Even if you don't feel injured. You may not be injured now, but what about in a week you can't even stand up? So all I'm asking is for you to check your rights. John Fuller is well versed in accident law, motor vehicle, personal injury. It's 303-597-4500. That's John Fuller. 303-597-4500. His website is personalinjuryco.com. So, if we can get him on the line, we'll try to get him. But really, I think I told you everything I need to. You got to go to the insurance company first. Find out first, before you do anything, did they pay anything, and get the file. It's your, they have to open it to you. All right?
How long can you go back on an insurance company? 3 years?
Well, you have the same statute of limitations, yes.
So 3 years.
They're going to claim you didn't report it. But I'm hoping, Tyler, at the time it happened, did you report it?
The claim, yes. I did call in the claim, yes.
Okay, so then they can't claim they weren't notified.
I just thought it. Did they replace the lady's car? Or you have no idea. Isn't that weird?
Tyler doesn't have any idea. That's why you have to find out. And Tyler, we're not cutting you loose. Call us back. When you get information, call us back. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal for used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. They're open tonight till 7, open Saturday till 7, closed Sunday, Monday through Saturday, 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal. They don't only have big selection of used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, but a huge selection in financing. 40 lenders to choose from. And you can pick one right for you. Rocky'sAutos.com, 63rd and Federal.
Well, that's just the brilliance behind the magic.
Hey guys, pizza's not going to be delivered till 12 or 12:15. Do you want me to go pick it up?
Which means 1 or 2.
I don't.
No, I said it can't. I said.
Well, if you want to, if you picked it up, when would it come?
Oh, I can call them and say I'm going to come pick it up.
If you're going to pick it up, it's appreciably faster. Yes.
And that's what I'll do. Okay.
Let's go on the extra mile.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's going the extra mile.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing it for old people anymore. You are coming with me when I go take Doreen that stuff. I need you to, yes, you are. I need you to go with me.
No way.
She accused, yeah, she said, I'm calling the police.
Well, why'd you
and then
take
when
all
she
her
brought Lauren in, I hung up on her. I'm not fighting with her.
Well, then let's ignore her from now on.
Yeah, she's done.
But I've got all that crap of hers I don't want.
No good deed.
Should I put it on her,
I'll go with you, Phil.
You got a cycle?
Put it on her balcony.
on her balcony?
Or whatever.
She has my TV, but I don't really give a crap about it.
What
I
stuff
gave it
did
to her.
we got first?
There was stuff left in the back of my truck, and we left so fast, because we needed a drink.
Many drinks.
I like it.
Yeah. You know what? I think you should, she's listening, I think you should say, circle back around and, I'm sorry. I knew that this was going to turn into crap like this. I knew
I
it.
told Mark that from the beginning.
I did. I told him, I said, in fact, I was quiet. I'm like, I do not want to be involved in this at all. When he brought up, I was like, I don't want to do it. I do not want to do this. And then he's like, would you please get involved? Well, then the whole thing fell on me. We moved this lady. Now she's accusing us of stealing a nut.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, you'd hire probably a mediator, but
Mediator. They have the fights downtown.
I mean, if you want
It's
to
100 and
so what I want to do
$20.
Wait, who am I? Who am I?
It was 3 years ago, but when you asked how old he was,
I want to donate a...
No. You said.
Or is that a house?
I want her
What
to
do you
have
call
this
it?
car. Mark did not ask her if she had a driver's license.
Hey, you know what we could do is we could send her bills for moving.
There's a lot of thinking.
No problem.
There's a lot of thinking going on.
Listen, when you bring that stuff, bring her some chicken.
Chicken White Dad's Farm.
No, she'll accuse us of it being poisoned or something.
Chick-fil-A. She made me take her to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, me too.
You charge her, send her bills.
Yeah.
What was she missing
Mark
anyway?
Have to come with me to bring her the rest
Oh,
of
Marvel.
the
A what?
$17,000.
So you think Mark should come with me to bring her that
Who said? Did she go through that whole bag?
Dude, she couldn't walk into that one room. What are you talking about? Dude, we had boxes in the one
They're all in
room.
bags.
Absolutely to the top. To the top.
And she goes, there were 100 bags. There's not 100 bags there now. And I was like, there's more than 100 bags.
That shirt you're wearing looks like one of hers.
A lot of stuff never taken out of the
Mark.
box. Brand new.
Brand new, just bought.
You guys have the same taste.
You are going with me. You are going with me.
I'll go, but you're buying the beers when we leave.
That's right. I will. I will buy you beers, but you're going with me. And Lauren is not involved with this anymore. As soon as she brought my daughter up, boom, I hung up. As soon as she doesn't have diarrhea and throwing up anymore, which I had to hear that
You
whole
should
story.
save all of his.
We are going next week.
Red loans. We created a new way that makes him just look bad.
I'm going to go find the
Oh,
lady.
yeah.
Ah!
And that hasn't happened in a while.
Tom Smilt. Write it on the calendar.
911.
How many do you need?
You've been perfect for
No, I was
hours.
Drinking, I was drinking out here, and it came out of.
How many do you need?
Oh, Daphne. You okey doped him. You didn't put the lid all the way on.
This lady, we had like.
No, it wasn't that.
You okey doped him.
Well,
He burned himself.
sorry. It all goes back to you because of Doreen.
I can't believe she. This is funny as hell. There's like 6 of us there. There's like 10 of us there.
So that, plus the fact that
We have never seen so much crap in your
Why
life.
are you guys moving?
She had stuff from.
3 times I've not
She had brand new stuff from Montgomery Wards. Brand new.
Montgomery Ward has been out 20 years.
15, 20 years.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. If you're refinancing or purchasing and you go with Ideal, they'll refinance you free of all fees coming up when it comes to interest rates dropping. So you're insulated. You're safe for the next 2 years, and each time you do it, you get another 2 years. And Ideal will also let you do any term you want. If you don't want to go back to 30, but you want to get the lower rate, you can go to any length of time you want. 16, 22, 26, whatever. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Melissa has a follow-up. Today is card day. Al Aramis is with us from Pro Auto Care. Tom Maggio from Hands On Auto Tech up north at the 119 turnoff in I-25. He's really on Vista View Drive. And then there's Vic Kimmer Transmission over on Arapahoe Road in Jordan. And Al is at Bowles and Santa Fe, south of there, just south, and then Evans and I-25, basically. So let's talk to Melissa. This is a follow-up. Melissa, we had a call a while ago, and a woman said that she's a home health care worker, and she's dispatched through an agency, but the homeowner basically, or the client, is the one that hires and fires them. And she said that after she complained that one of the coworkers touched her on the breast, you let her go, or you were doing this for...
This is her.
Is this the one that was touched, or is this?
This is the one that was touched.
Oh, because
I'm
the one,
sorry, Tom.
the one that wrote to us has the same name. They're both Melissa.
They are both Melissa.
Okay.
Yes, Melissa, the one that wrote to us, said she did not want to come on the air,
Oh.
so I figured we would tell Melissa what
All right.
Melissa
We
said.
did look into this, Melissa. And as I said before, the agency really isn't responsible here. They don't hire and fire, and they have nothing to do with it. All they do is process payments and dispatch people. And basically, it was a dispute you had with the client, because the client and the client's daughter, who actually they're both really the client, even though you're taking care of the mom. They both decided they didn't want you there anymore, and you thought it was because you complained about being touched on the breast, and that might be. I mean, the point is that you were not an employee technically, so it's weird. It's really weird, because a client can choose who they want as a healthcare worker at home, and they didn't want you there anymore because they didn't believe you, and they believed the guy. That's what it turns out to be.
Did you borrow money from that lady?
I have.
Yeah. So here's what she said.
This is the daughter.
The client. Yeah.
The daughter of the client.
Exactly. And she's the power of attorney, so for all practical purposes, they're clients. Okay? Here's the deal. She says, I want to thank you for handling this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. She was a caregiver for my mother. The duties included basic housekeeping and personal care around the house because my mom's in a wheelchair. The caregivers come in a few hours a day and basically provide simple care for her. The man that Melissa accused of groping her had an accident when he was a child. He's on medications. That's why he doesn't drive. We have also discovered since she quit, yes, she quit, she was not fired. I did not revoke anything as a punishment. And that's another thing. You said you were fired. They said you quit. So I don't know which one it was. We have discovered that she was drinking on the job and borrowing money from my mom. She will be considered a no rehire. We did investigate her accusations at length, and her story never remained consistent. His did. We believe she was trying to get rid of me to fire, or excuse me, trying to get me to fire him. He has documentation and witnesses of her verbal abuse toward him, including my mom, who also witnessed it. And basically, that's the statement. So I just wanted you to know we did look into it, even though I wasn't sure what we could do, if anything. So that's what we found. She's basically disagreeing, saying that you quit. The pertinent parts here is that you quit and were not fired. And second, she investigated and found him to be more credible.
I think she acknowledged. Didn't you acknowledge you quit, Melissa?
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry. I thought you were fired.
No, I said, I'll give you my 2-week notice since you're going to take the supervisor
that's right.
role away.
That's right. And then that's right. I'm sorry.
And
you said she took the supervisor role away, and that is why you quit.
I got to give more credence to this Melissa simply because she came on the air, honestly.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that we looked into it. There's really nothing more we can do. I personally don't even think you got much of a suit here. I mean, if you wanted to sue, but we have more coming up.
Attention Denver.
You guys see the lions on those people's decks in Conifer?
What? Real lions?
Not lions, yeah.
Oh, yeah, last night on the news.
Yeah.
They call it a pride.
Yeah. The whole
It was a mother and like 3 babies.
Yeah, here, I got it right here.
When I say babies, though, I mean, fuck, you can't.
Yeah, they're adolescents, but they're darn near full grown. Yeah.
Dude, they say they never want humans to see them.
You know, they're very, very elusive animal. You know,
Aren't they beautiful?
They're
I mean,
gorgeous.
they're beautiful.
They're gorgeous. But I mean, why you didn't scare these animals off and put the fear of God into them, I don't know. You're creating a situation.
Is that, I think that's just a plant.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it looks like they're drinking out of a flower pot or something.
Yeah, they are gorgeous.
Are they trapped in there, or can they jump?
They're on the deck.
This is cool.
They can jump
Oh,
out.
it's crazy, man.
Not cool.
No, it's cool as hell.
Kill you.
No, holy shit.
Absolutely they will.
No, when you fight a lion, you got to shove your fist down its throat.
Yeah, you're tickling his kidneys.
You shove your fist down his throat and grab it by the balls.
So we'll start moving around here a little bit. They're walking around the railings, and then they eventually take off.
What are they drinking water?
Yeah, it looks like they just got to go some water.
They're so elusive, Tom, you almost never ever see them, let alone a family.
Until they're on you.
Without dogs, I've only ever come across them in a wild place.
I saw a bobcat before, but never a
The
mountain.
bobcats are scary.
I fought a bobcat before. It's a baby one. Okay, maybe it was a kitten.
Look like a bobcat. Related to a bobcat.
You ever watch?
We should repost that.
Cats from Hell or Hellcat, it's called something like that. This guy comes out and he helps people with cats that they want to keep at
Like a cat with
Oh my God, it's so funny, the show. Yesterday, he had this woman had a cat that weighed 22 pounds, man. It was bigger than Daphne's cat.
No, Daphne's is 40, I thought.
But when they showed the owner, okay, she was huge. So the whole thing came down to she was feeding one. It was just bizarre, man. But the good news is they both started losing weight. So one of the things she had to do was put a leash on the cat and walk the cat for whatever amount every day. That was part of her homework, he calls it. So imagine this. You have an extremely heavy-set woman with the even extremely more heavy-set cat on a leash walking through the apartment complex. I'm going, oh my God.
Everybody's taking videos.
Everybody's videoing it. I wouldn't have done it. God. It's a great show, though. I think it's called My Cat from Hell or Hellcats or something.
Well, after this woman with the whole breast touching, whatever happened to the freak lady that got the video of her stepdaughter down?
They disappeared, man. The one that, yeah. I think Pueblo cops turned it over to the DA's office. The DA's office was going to do something. That's the last we know.
Power tools and accessories than of any national retailer.
Yeah, we should call and see. That's a good update.
We had somebody who I thought was a friend take my daughter into the bathroom.
Ooh,
A year ago.
How old was your daughter?
Do what?
She was 3. We don't know exactly, but she implied that he took pictures. And was saying, like, you're sexy.
Just like to know you're on,
that.
we're on the,
The kid's still breathing?
He's in jail. Well, he got paid.
Sandwich, please. Or treating yourself to back-to-school savings at Bell's. We've got the names everyone wants, like Carter's, Levi's, Nike, and Vans, just to name a few. Plus, beauty brands like Clinique, NYX, and Philosophy. Go online in today's deals to see all the savings this weekend. And don't forget, Style Circle Rewards members earn rewards with every purchase. Fresh styles, big savings, and fun perks every day. Bell's. Little things mean everything. Bell's is part of our Stage family. Offer exclusions apply.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's.
Mostly sunny today with a high of 88. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 59. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a high of 84. For Sunday, partly sunny and a high of 79.
Find leading brands for your next paint or stain project in one convenient place. Lowe's. Brands like Purdy and Cabot. Trusted by pro painters so you know you can count on them too. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's.
Only one day left until Carpet Mill Outlet Store's one-day private sale. Tomorrow at Carpet Mill Outlet Stores, save up to 40% off MSRP store-wide. For a limited time, get 12 months interest-free financing. So whether it's carpet, hardwood, Cortec, tile, laminate, granite countertops, or area rugs, Carpet Mill Outlet Stores has the lowest prices guaranteed. You'll find value price options to fit every style and every budget. 12 locations, but the sale is one day only. Tomorrow. Find out more at carpetmilloutletstores.com.
If you plan on buying or selling a home, listen to this important message from Rex. There's no longer any reason to pay 6% to sell your home. Introducing Rex Real Estate. Rex sells homes for the lowest fee in the industry, 2% total, saving Denver homeowners tens of thousands of dollars per transaction. With Rex Real Estate, you get a full-service team backed by technology. They don't market homes the way traditional agents do. Rex uses big data and machine learning to attract hundreds of qualified buyers directly to your home the moment it goes on the market. And Rex Real Estate charges only 2% total, not the 6% commission your local broker expects. Get started now by calling 720-586-4006. Rex can also help you buy a home. Your licensed Rex agent will arrange showings, negotiate offers, guide you through escrow, and even get you pre-qualified for a mortgage at the lowest available rate. Rex is with you every step of the way. To speak with a Rex representative, call now at 720-586-4006. License number 100077876.
Just in time, get an air conditioning system for half price. When you buy a new furnace from Plumline Services, you get your AC half off, plus a 10-year parts and labor warranty. No tricks, no gimmicks, just straight savings with utility company rebates more than $1,500 and no interest financing. A new furnace, a new AC for half price, an incredible deal this month only. Plumline Services. Call now, 303-562-0439. That's 303-562-0439.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I love having a consumer show when I can absolutely recommend the best when it comes to selling your real estate and buying. Selling, he stages the home, cleans the home, puts the home on video, puts the home on stills and pics all over the internet. You may think, oh, everyone does that. No one reaches out like Frank does. He proactively sells your home. He doesn't just put up a sign and wait for someone else to sell it. Most of his listings, he sells directly. But even if he doesn't, they sell quicker and for more money because of his negotiating skills. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Angela's been waiting, and I know, Angela, you didn't get on yesterday. I promise I will take you. We have car day today. Al Aramis is with us from Pro Auto Care, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, and Tom Maggio, Hands-On Auto Tech. Angela, what's going on with you? What's happening?
Are you talking to Angela?
Yes, Angela, thank you.
Hi, Tom.
What's going on?
Oh, gosh. Happy Friday.
I'm sorry for the wait.
That's okay. I appreciate you having me on. I'll try to make a long story short.
Sure.
I'm a Colorado resident, born and raised in Wheat Ridge, live in Arvada now. I've been teaching yoga the past 10 years, Denver metro area. Had a studio in Old Town Arvada. It was torn down for the light rail. Things happen. Move on, right?
Yeah.
I've had a park program out at Majestic View since 2012.
What's a park program?
Yoga in the park. We do yoga out there all summer long. And
Is it sponsored by, like, the city or something?
Well, no. I brought it to the city of Arvada in 2012. I was out there. It was like a SEVA program. I donated my time to get, my teaching out there, health and wellness in the community, all of that stuff. They did not charge me a permit because I was volunteering. The next years from 13 to current, I've always had a permit, which I get through the Apex.
Well, the following years, you weren't charged for a permit, or you were charged?
I was, because I started charging for my program.
And how much were you charged for a permit?
It's like, it's never been clear. It's either been a flat rate, like $25, like last year was a percentage. This year, we've always had a contract. This year, they gave me the permit in February, 10 days before my program started, which started the second weekend in June this year. They contacted me and said they were not going to sign a contract. I had to become an employee.
Well, hold on. So basically what they were saying is, this year, we're not going to allow you to teach yoga.
Correct.
And so what do they mean you have to become an employee? Were they offering you employment?
Yes.
They said
like $34 an hour.
So they said you can become an employee.
I have to become an employee.
Well, no,
not that
you
I
don't
can.
have to. They
No.
offered it to you.
That's true.
Okay.
But if I wanted to teach the program, I would have to be their employee.
Uh-huh. And why did they say? Is that because they were audited or something?
No, I mean, they really didn't say. First they said it just to be equitable to other teachers.
Why
Then
are all the other teachers employees?
As far as I know, they have different programs there that everybody's not an employee, as far as karate and whatnot. Personally, Tom, what I think is
what do you
their
think?
budget was cut last year from $42 million to $24 million.
Wait a minute. Arvada has that much of a budget for arts or for recreation?
Apparently, the Apex Center does. 45% of that comes from taxpayer funds, and basically they're trying to push me out. They want to take over my program. It's been a successful program. I've been out there.
Well, they think they want to make more money on it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and push me out.
Well, Angela, listen, I don't want anyone being pushed out. I really don't, and I don't want to hurt anyone. But for a government agency or a parks agency to say, let's take a look at expenses and try to be more efficient, I understand that you're looking at it like they're trying to push you out. They might be looking at it like, let's streamline and save some money, right? Could that be possible?
Wait, it's not costing them any money. I would be paying them like 30% of the funds.
Do you think? Okay, so that's what I wanted to ask. What has the arrangement been? It's been a revenue split.
70% to me, 30% to Apex Park and Recreation.
And okay, so is it an Apex Parks and Recreation? Is that a separate district from Arvada?
It is.
It's its own district.
It is.
What else does it do?
Confusing.
What else does it do?
They issue all the permits for the park, but then Arvada owns the land. And I don't want to pretend that I know completely.
Okay,
how
that's
this
okay.
works.
That's okay. It's a recreation district. There are plenty of them.
Right.
But what I guess what I'm asking is this: the other programs, how do they operate? Or give me an idea of how another program operates.
Well, it depends on. They have yoga. Basically, what they told me, if it's something they could duplicate, they would not issue permits for it. That's what I was told. They do have programs there where you sign in online, and pay through Apex. Probably the majority of the people there are employees, but they do have subcontractors.
What are some of the subs?
I know karate for a fact. I know there's a karate teacher over there. I'm not sure. I haven't haven't totally dove into it, but I know they do offer these various programs, and I think it's just frustrating for
Angela, here's what could have happened. And I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to look at this objectively. Okay. You could have been so good at this that you made it look attractive. And wow, it makes really good money. Seriously.
Yeah,
and
I know that's what happened.
Now, look how much money we can make if we don't pay 70% back or don't let her keep 70%. We keep it all, and we pay an hourly rate to someone. That's exactly what they're doing. Now listen, that's exactly what they're doing. Is that wrong? No. Is it unfair? It could be. Does it stink? Yeah, for you.
Right.
But you know what I mean? There's no secret here. Listen, this happens in every stage of life for everyone. There are people every day that look at what other people do and say, wow, they should be made. We've had people. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. There are people in business who sub out something, and they sub it out like parking or valet services, and they say, whoa, they're making all that money. We should do it and just pay people an hourly rate. So they do it. They either succeed and make more money, or they fail miserably and go back to the old system. It's all economics. You don't think it's personal, right?
No, I understand that. I think I understand that. And
well, understanding it, then I'm asking you, what do you think? And I promise you, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I am trying to help you. So I'm asking you, what were you expecting us to say when we heard this? It's outrageous. Let's go and do something about it? Because I think there is something you can do about it.
Right. Well, to me, it's more educating. The Apex is the one offering the permits. I do teach in my own community.
You know what? You're right. They're controlling the competition. It's a monopoly.
with my own government. It's crazy.
But
That's
you're not. You're really not competing. I mean, they're not really. Hold on. If they said to you, you're not allowed to teach yoga anywhere at any time without going through us, you would own them. But they're not saying that.
Right.
They're
Right.
saying we control the parks. We get to choose who can give a class in a park. And then you say, well, that's not fair because you don't want me competing with you. Absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Just like Little League, we don't want anyone competing with us, just like anything. So the question is, can you, if you're so damn good, why don't you do one where you don't, listen to this, think of how much cheaper you can charge if you don't have to pay 30% to them.
Right.
Or go somewhere else and do something better.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's where, that's obviously what I'll do as a business owner. You just have to adapt and move on, right? I think for me, it's the fact that like half of their budget does come from taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer in the city.
But what does that mean? That's all the more reason
they're looking out for the taxpayer would be the other side of that argument.
Angela, that's all the more reason they should do what they're doing, unless, here's the big deal, this will be very interesting, and guess what? It's publicly available because you are a taxpayer. You can figure out what you have netted them, an average each year, and see what they net when they take it over. And and then you can take it right to the taxpayers. You can do a petition, or you can do a campaign. I'm serious, Angela. That's how it works.
I'm listening.
I think it sucks, okay? I know how you feel. You're saying, look, I'm the one who made this a success, and now they're saying, thank you, we're going to take it over, and guess what? You know, you can work for us, but we're going to pay you way less, or we're going to have some hack do it, and I know it sucks. It really does. I mean, but this happens in every aspect of life. It happens all the time. I mean, people can't stand it, but it happens. Now, the consumers, they have a voice. If they say, you know what, we don't like what just happened, we're going to boycott this class. We're not going. I mean, that's your power. That's what you do. But I don't think there is, if you're asking, is there anything officially you can do? I can see nothing where you can fight, or, I mean, I'm not saying there isn't. I can see nothing. Now, if they said to you, we don't want your class anymore, and you happen to notice the next class has no blacks in it at all, and you find out somebody there did not like you had an affinity, I'm serious, and they say, oh, there's too many blacks, well, then you would own them, right? That's what I'm talking about, something really wrong. But I don't suspect that's happening. What I suspect is that you are simply a victim of your success. You made it look too damn easy. You did.
Well, yeah, and it's not the first time this happened in my life, and I'll move on. I think it's just more like just having a platform.
Well, where do you think you could have your yoga if you don't have it at the park?
Well, there's more. Apex, it sounds like they only want to quote unquote activate 20 parks. There's a new board that they voted in. So there's a lot of parks, and I do have some great people, even with the city of Arvada, or who used to work in Arvada, that you know are willing to look at a place for the location and all of that. So I know there's
you can find
more
a place
out there.
Because here's what I want to tell you: when you find a place, call us and we'll promote the hell out of it.
And you can find a place outside of Arvada. I mean, why not somewhere else?
No, we would. We will promote it, and I mean that sincerely. We'll tell everybody about it.
I appreciate
and that's
that.
a big, and that costs a lot of money. That costs a lot of money to do. We're not gonna ask you for a dime. We're gonna help you out.
That's why I truly appreciate it. I really appreciate it. That's huge. So I thank you for your time.
Yeah, and thank you for the. But Mark, I can think of nothing they're doing wrong though. I mean,
I might open up a yoga studio.
And we may get everybody in here to go attend her class.
That would be fun, wouldn't it? You know, Suzanne does yoga every week. Would you do it weekly or more than that?
Oh, like 4 or 5 times a week.
Honest to God, that much?
Yeah,
do you do it with the heat?
Yes, that's the
What
best.
about Mark?
Angela,
Mark do any yoga?
Hold on, Angela. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I want to ask you a couple questions. Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney. If you think you need one, there's a reason, right? You think you need one because you got in trouble already. Now, I'm going to ask you to do something that you probably didn't think of. Remember his name for you or your friends if it ever happens in the future. But the way you avoid most trouble that Joe Lazzara handles is don't drink and drive. It's that easy. Now, he's not going to judge you. I am. I'm saying, listen, get a handheld breathalyzer. They make them, and they're great nowadays. Or just don't drink and drive. Use a designated driver, for goodness sakes, or use Uber or Lyft. If you need Joe Lazara to get you through the system, even if you learned your lesson and you just want to say uncle and go through, he's 303-429-6200. 429-6200. His name is Joe Lazara. You can find him on the referral list at referralist.com.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's.
Fuse Lowe's.
North of Crest being cleared on the right shoulder, southbound I-25, just north of Highway 7. Once you get past Highway 7, you should be in good shape until you get to southbound I-25 around 100.
And they didn't believe the first girl. I guess it was before us, 3 years before us.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah, they followed up and they interviewed, but they didn't. His wife backed them up and they didn't believe it. So then ours was the second report, and since it was reported twice now, then they really looked into it.
Brighton. The weather forecast.
Got a loser or something? Got a criminal?
Right now,
He was a 60-year-old.
He took our daughter in the bathroom
K-How.
and took pictures of her. We caught him like red-handed with her in the bathroom. We couldn't find her. We were friends with them. We were there for Thanksgiving, and he disappeared, and she disappeared. I'm like, where's Gianna? You know? So we're looking all over the house. Finally, we go in the basement, and oh, he's in his bathroom with her in the basement. Like, why down there? There's a bathroom up here. We're all up here, you know? And it was suspicious, and we were nervous, but we didn't think much of it. But then the next day, when my wife's putting her in the car, she started saying things like, I'm sexy, Mommy. And Doug took my picture, you know, and she was only 3. Like, where did she get I'm sexy from? You know, that's what we're both thinking. So first we approached him about it. You know, like, what's going on? You know, it's really weird. And he kind of blew us off and acted like it wasn't a thing at all. And that really sent us, like, you know, if somebody says something to me, like, hey, you know, your kid said something, I'd be like, whoa, dude, you know.
Yeah, you better
first of all, I apologize for something weird, but I would, you know. And he was just like, oh, that's not a big deal. When are we going to hang out again? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take this seriously. So then we approached his wife, and she basically told us to go F ourselves. So at that point, we're like, that's it. We're going to please. And so when we reported it, they interviewed her daughter. They're like, she's too young to get much from, but there's definitely something there, you know? So then I guess they looked into them, and 2 other parents, one had accused them 3 years before us.
Oh, you mean
that another child, I guess,
I just lost the whole fucking market.
Oh. Yeah. It's crazy, because we're friends. Like, how can you
opened up?
Like, first of all, how can you be that?
Someone turned the drain.
Second of all, how can you do it like your friends and stuff? You know what I mean?
They do. They're very calculated. Very calculated. Yeah, destroy people's lives. That's what they try to do.
Retirement income strategy. An income you won't outlive. Call right now. 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
He'd do it on medium cast. I'm doing this tomorrow.
The guy a couple of years ago had the rank.
I hope this is as good as
Yeah, he was accused in 2014, and they didn't believe the accuser. I'd rather have one. So he almost got away with it. But if he hadn't said anything, he probably would have continued to get away with it.
Arrested him, took him in.
It says 2 hours.
Judge read the report of what happened. They said,
oh, they did?
So I guess we'll have some road trips to make.
Get him out of here.
You know his sister? Where they
I'm not
Kansas. Of course not. That would be much rather have them here.
Well, it was going to be here or
Would have been good for him.
Actually, it could have been here, Kansas, Texas.
Been down that block.
I think even Germany was in there, but I think they yanked out of Germany.
But they can't protect themselves.
I get to Jimmy John's early every day.
Freak-a-doodle-doo.
To bake
So
for
Kansas side good.
That's why I yelled at
and we
my
keep on
daughter.
baking.
Yeah, it would have been alright to have them here.
That's
They
all.
went to some big concert last weekend.
Kansas is a hell of a lot closer than what they are now.
Yeah, well, and this thing was, there was like 20 different freaking bands there and everything else.
Yep.
She pretty much showed up there with no clothes.
Who?
She's, well, my my son's girlfriend.
Just shows up, kind
Well,
of.
Dude, these rave concerts and ZDM and all this craziness, the girls are beyond stupid. They show up with bras on, okay, shorts that basically don't have back pockets. I mean, it's like Daisy Dukes, exactly. And everybody's popping ecstasy, doing some Molly.
It's the new love fest.
Yeah, and my daughter likes it, but she won't do anything with drugs. She does drugs just out of her picture. Thank God. I was like, God.
Wink and Wink are attorneys that do bankruptcy, and I hope you don't need them. The great news is that bankruptcy filings are down. That's good news. The economy's doing great. We had some numbers today, right, guys? But Chapter 13, Chapter 7, if you need it, or even restructuring and doing a debt settlement, winkandwink.com, Mike and Gigi Wink. If you need it, they're there. 303-410-1720. 303-410-1720. Put it behind you if you're hopelessly in debt, and get on with your life. Winkandwink.com. Angela, she had a story about how she's being nudged out of, Arvada for her yoga classes because she did such a great job, and the city's going to, or the district's going to take it over, the recreational district, and possibly try to make more money because they don't have to split revenue with her. And it's a story of many, many, many entrepreneurs who do a great job. But Angela, what makes you special in yoga? I just wanted to ask, basically, what made your program grow, or what is special about your program? So when you open your center, people will want to look for you. What is it?
Well, I think it's just my approach to teaching. I've been teaching for 10 years, and I think it's my personality, my approach. People feel comfortable, do a good job holding space, and
do you
no
give
pressure.
Do you give it a trade name or any kind of special name?
Well, my company's called Shanti Home, Shanti Home, Shanti Home. In Arvada, we go into schools, we go into corporations. I do a stand-up paddleboard yoga class on Sundays out at Chatfield.
A stand-up what?
Paddleboard. We do yoga on paddleboards. You should come out.
You mean in the water?
Yeah, in the water. Yeah, at Chatfield through Sursup, Colorado. Yeah, you don't even need a board. You just can come out and get on the water. It's fun.
I do couch yoga.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We need that too. That's definitely restorative.
So when you teach, then you don't use anything, any heat or anything like that?
No. I mostly go to places. Like I said, I go into schools, corporations. I have a contract with the Denver Public Library. I do. I'm in senior housing places like chair yoga. So really diverse population that I work with, and I've been teaching for 10 years, and I love it, and I've seen the benefits of yoga in my life, and I'm obviously a huge advocate, and I try to make it affordable and accessible. So
cool. Well, okay. Yeah. Angela, what's your website?
ShantiHomeYoga.com.
Shanti, spell it.
ShantiHome yoga.com. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. 303-713-TALK. Julie, what's going on in your life with tenant-landlord stuff? What's happening?
Well, I recently moved into Skyline Apartments with my 3 autistic children, and
three autistic children.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I'm a single mom, so life is really hard.
Yeah, I imagine. I imagine it is. How functioning are they?
They're high functioning. I'm very blessed. CBD really helps them.
I heard that. And there are some people fighting it just because.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why we moved here, was because of CBD for my children. My youngest is the most severe, and so that's why it's most important for us.
Do the cannabinoid oils, do they make your children more engaged?
Absolutely. They ground them. They make their brains work efficiently.
Wow.
Along with their diet. I feed them a holistic diet.
Yeah.
100% organic.
Mm-hmm.
I spend at least $2,500 a month on food for them.
Whoa. So what's going on with your apartment or your home?
It's my apartment. It's Skyline Apartments. We moved in 2 months ago. Ever since day one, we have had problems.
Are you on a lease?
Yes, sir.
When
one-year
is
lease.
When is it up?
1 year from June.
Okay.
So June next year.
Okay.
I noticed the problems that they were having were very, very, I don't want to say this wrong, autistic-like. They were, pitching fits over little things. My youngest, she starts having, horrible sinus problems. She can't breathe very well when she comes in contact with mold. And, as being the market is the way it is here in Denver area, I did not question anything to move in the area.
Let's talk about the problems now. Like, what do you want to get fixed, or why are you thinking of a constructive eviction? For those listening, a constructive eviction is something that, I mean, there is no definite definition, but in general, there's enough of a breach of your contract that you evict yourself saying you have no choice. Usually it's for habitability standards. It can be for safety and other things. But let's talk about specifically right now your problems.
Specifically, there is mold growth inside the AC unit, and the AC unit has leaked several times. I used to own a home, and I have construction background.
Now,
so
is this a window unit, or is this what kind of?
No, sir. This is a central heat and air unit. So
and it's for your unit only, though?
Yes, sir. It is for my specific apartment only.
To have that cleaned literally would take $39 to have that cleaned.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
You would think that.
No, Fix It 24/7 does it. I'm serious when I say it. $39.
Oh.
They get all the mold out.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
But they have to stop the leaking, too, or it's going to come back.
Correct. Exactly. That is the problem. So I contacted the manager at Skyline Apartments, Jennifer, on the 17th.
I don't need to be the process. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to, for argument's sake, to get you through the procedure, let's just assume they're not responding and that you contact me, you have dates, you have times, you have names. What is the other problem? You have mold. What else? Mold in the AC, and no one wants mold in the AC. Is it contaminating your air?
Yes, sir.
You would have to have tests to prove it in order to hold up for a constructive eviction.
They sent a gentleman.
Did you get parts per million?
I haven't been denied the results.
Well, you have to do it. They don't have to give you ammunition. What I'm saying is, if you want to use it...
I have to have permission. I have to have their permission to have any vendor come into my apartment.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You can have your mold tested by you. You don't need them. You can put trays in. You can have your air.
You can get a
tested.
free kit from the county.
You don't need them. You can test the air. You need to have your own information to say the mold is at a toxic level and it's dangerous mold. You can't just say I don't want mold. As much as everyone would like to say that, they can't. I'm trying to give you ammunition to get out of your lease. Okay. In addition to mold, what is there?
The refrigerator hasn't been working, and raw sewage has been backed up in my
those are
tub.
two big problems. You're telling me raw sewage is backed up where?
It had backed up in my tub June 8th.
Did they ever fix it?
Within, I believe, 12 hours, but it sat in my tub for 12 hours.
But it's not there now.
No. I'm just saying that was just one of the problems.
Okay, but you have to have an existing problem they refuse to address. Mold would be one if you could show you have dangerous levels of toxic mold. That would be one. That would really be one. But you have to, we can't just talk about it.
Did you see the pictures I sent on email?
Well, yeah, but it may not be toxic mold. You need, listen. People overreact to mold, and in your case, you definitely would, because you keep your kids, really with a.
She's saying 6 different families have been affected by this, though.
Yes, there's our other families.
Well, of course, because they're using the system. Listen, this looks terrible. It looks disgusting. But if it's not contaminating your air, then it means nothing. Listen, I'm not talking to you as a friend and saying, yeah, get the hell out of there. I'm telling you, you're going to have a big fight because you're going to want to get your deposit money back. But before we do all of that, let me ask you, did you ever ask them to just let you out?
I asked them to give me another unit.
Well, but you said you want to do a constructive eviction. Have you ever asked them to just let you out, period, let you out of the lease and give your money back, your not your rent, but your deposit money back, your security deposit? Will they let you out of the lease?
The gentleman, Roger, at corporate, no, he won't let me out of my lease.
Because they can re-rent these in no time. Why not? Why can't they re-rent them?
They're not the best place. I mean, I don't know if they can re-rent them as quick as they could a year ago.
Well, I've blasted them all over Facebook, and so much that I've created a group for everybody that's been affected from the sickness of Skyline Apartments. It's called Mold Awareness of Denver Housing.
Man, you're doing that without any proof whatsoever. You're in dangerous territory. I'm serious, because if it turns out there's not toxic mold and it's not at dangerous levels, no matter what your opinion is, I'm serious. I'm trying to be a friend to you. You're going to have a problem.
Okay, I understand that. Let me ask you this. They sent a vendor out here, Joseph Riley, from
you do not have a right to get that unless they want to give it to you. You don't.
Why not?
Because you don't. Because the landlord paid for it.
But I'm inhabiting this apartment.
Julie, they don't have to share it with you. You're asking me if they have to. No, they don't.
Okay, then who do you recommend?
That's what we should do. Listen, get a few of your friends that are affected, and we'll try to get it done at rock bottom. I mean, we're not trying to make a dime here, and if I could get my guys or anybody on my referral list to do it free, I would do that.
Mold awareness of Denver. We've had severe reactions. I have an EpiPen for the mold.
We have a mold expert,
It's
Julie.
Mold
Check Inc., baby.
Let's talk to Mold Check, though, first.
I'll call him.
Let's see if they'll do it for a few of these apartments.
All right, I'll
call
him right now.
Data. That's what I want. I want data. And then we tackle it from there. House Modern, H-A-U-S-S. That's the house as in German house, and that really denotes the German background of this company, of the owners and their meticulous design and building background, because these kitchens and baths will make you say, wow. And that's what I love about House. This is not for your fix and flippers. Now, I'm not saying it's automatically expensive. I say it's great value, because they do everything from the floors to the cabinets, the countertops, the walls, the ceilings, the light fixtures, the plumbing fixtures, even the appliances. You just tell them what you want. They put your dreams into reality. And as I said, at a great value. They do kitchens, baths, even closet systems that will make you say, wow. If you're looking for a turnkey project, you just want it to really knock your socks off. HouseModern.com. H-A-U-S-S. You will not be disappointed. Hey, it costs you nothing to find out. Santa Fe and Louisiana is their showroom. Give them a call or look them up online. The number, 720-325-5040. 720-325-5040. House Modern. That's H-A-U-S-S. HouseModern.com.
When I talked to her, she wanted a pro bono lawyer. Well, I said they fixed the air conditioner leak. And I said, well, you could kill the mold with bleach. No, you can't.
See, this is what you call impossible. When people, there are some people who believe, I swear to God, once something is molded, it's done forever. It's done. You got to rebuild the whole house.
She said,
in fact, in Texas, they were making demands that they not only knock down the house and rebuild it, but scoop all of the dirt out of the lot and put all new dirt in.
They should.
I'm serious.
Well, you remember Caitlin, that gal you guys helped with that house with the mold, with the roofer and stuff? I referred to her.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Caitlin Cole, you guys helped her.
I almost don't like
what happened. That one was a roofer put in, and the roof was leaking, and the whole ceiling was full of mold, and they came out and didn't fix it right.
Did they get it? Did we help them?
Yeah, you guys helped him. The attorney, basically, she had an attorney, and something was fired back to the roofer, and they agreed to let the insurance kick in, and they paid her for the rehab. She had mold behind the drywall.
Right. They taped on the ceiling and stuff. They needed to take that down.
It's very, very. Was there a skylight?
You know, I don't remember.
Was there a knuckle involved? We don't take mold problems because there are people that are truly in a dangerous situation, but they are so few and far between.
Yeah, no, people like get hypochondriac almost.
They get crazy over it, and it all started with who? Who? One man. Hillary Clinton. Nope.
Oh,
started it.
publicly, the entire country knew about
How
it.
huge?
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon? Really?
That's the first mold complaint of national note.
Really?
Yep. He made such a big deal about it. Ed McMahon, you look it up. He was the first mold case that was publicized nationwide.
Was it his
and
house?
made the entire awareness change, yes.
And he got paid.
It was an incredible case. And he talked about it on The Tonight Show. I mean, it was like...
You had it on Tonight Show? Oh, yeah.
I think I'll look up the settlement.
Ed McMahon mold settlement?
Yeah.
I never found out what he got.
We looked it up a while back. It was big.
McMahon was Carson's guy, right?
7.2
million.
7.2 million? Are you kidding me?
And ever since him, he was the first.
2003.
Did they tear
He
his
was
house down,
the
or what did
first.
they do?
Well, you know, it's because of all that publicity he had, too. That's free publicity.
Yeah, but so what was the issue and stuff? He had mold in his house?
He started the mold rush.
But no, he's... So
He bought that cheap cheese, that kind of with the plastic wrap on it, and he didn't rewrap it, so it grew mold.
Ed McMahon claims the insurance company botched a simple repair on a broken pipe. As a result, he says black, toxic mold spread through his 8,000 square foot, 6-bedroom Beverly Hills mansion. He was seeking $20 million.
All that from cheese.
And he said it killed his dog.
Oh, shit.
A
the
death
dog
mold.
ate the cheese.
Respiratory and death. Everyone in the country started putting in mold after that.
I wonder if it actually was toxic.
I imagine there might have been, but here's the deal. And he was 79 when it happened.
He had 1 foot in the grave.
He was in such great shape, though.
Oh, what?
I like Eddie Murphy goes, when Johnny Carson, he was on the front page of the Inquirer, and he had to give up half to his wife. And he's all like, oh. And then his wife was on the front page of the Inquirer the next day, his ex-wife. She got half his money. She was on the front page of the Inquirer. Yeah.
So if you've been denied a loan based on
Half.
or a loan, well,
If you got $1 and someone, you got to give someone 50
He went broke
cents.
in
That's a lot of
2000.
money.
He went broke in 2008. He was being foreclosed on.
Ed?
Ed McMahon went broke.
And he got that 7.2 in 03. That's only 5 years before, man. Well, he got the verdict then.
You know who helped him avoid going on the street?
Carson.
Donald Trump.
No
No
shit.
way.
Came to his rescue.
Really?
Humanitarian, my man.
What did he do? What? It just says Donald Trump came to his aid.
Probably like the guy.
And that was way back when.
2008.
Oh, 2008. I thought that man was way
Donald Trump came to his rescue so he didn't get thrown onto the street, out into the street.
Probably in a very literal sense, too.
It is a car day, so I need to tell you about Flexident. Again, the preferred way to fix your car, flexidentofcolorado.com. They have experienced immediate openings. They're not a fly-by-night operation. They do not detract from the value of your car. Flexidentofcolorado.com. I like the website. You go right there, Flexident of Colorado, and you can work your way into a booking, or you can call 303-619-6273. Also, because it's car day, Century RV comes to mind, CentryRV.com. That's with a C, Century. And they have the biggest Cougar sale for fifth wheels in the country. They're at 119, and that's the Longmont turnoff, Highway 119 and I-25, next to our friend here at Hands On Auto Tech. That's Century RV up there along Frontage Road. Now, they also have 32,000 square foot indoor facility at Lakewood between Kipling and Sims on 6th Avenue, just north of 6th, near Woodley's. Julie was trying to do a constructive eviction. We're going to try to help her off the air with a mold inspector. We have to have data. And that's it. We can do nothing without data. Jeff is with us. He's with Mold Check. He's on our referral list, referralist.com. Jeff, there are times people see mold and they get scared, but it may not be toxic mold or it may not be leaching into the air. What makes mold get into the air?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good, man.
It kind of depends. You know, if we've got visible mold, obviously it can get into the air.
Yes.
It depends on how much is there. You know, if we've got a whole lot of it, it could certainly affect the indoor air quality of any home. So it just kind of depends on the situation.
What does it take to test? What does it take?
To do the test?
Yeah, like what kind of equipment?
We basically use an air sampling pump where we draw air. It's a pretty simple process.
Is it small? Can it be smuggled into an apartment?
Absolutely. Yep, it can fit into a small handbag, if you will. Maybe.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, Julie said she has to have permission to have a vendor come in. Now, I understand that part. Having a vendor come in to do plumbing, heating, electric, of course. But just to sample air, there's no way in hell they can prevent you from just sampling air. And no. I think it would be...
How much does that generally cost, man?
We'd have to do one sample indoors and one outdoors. Generally runs $275.
Now, why would you have to do outdoor?
Comparative.
We always have to do an outdoor sample to compare the indoor to. Ideally, we'd like to have your indoor air quality to be comparable to the outdoor air. So we take one inside, one outside.
Well, what if the outside is bad, though? I mean, that doesn't mean you're going to accept bad air quality inside, right?
If the outside was bad, the inside would be bad.
Well, exactly. But we tend to see more of the toxic variety of mold strains indoors that aren't present outdoors. That's usually what happens, is the bad mold like Stachybotrys that loves to grow on drywall. We typically will not see that outdoors.
And then there's also people who believe once something is molded, it's done. And there's a lot of misunderstanding. I mean, mold can be dealt with, right?
Yep, I haven't met a project I couldn't clean up yet.
Yeah.
But when it's on drywall, and a lot of times people can clean it up themselves. But when it's on drywall, you usually want to remove it.
Yeah, because it might have sunk in.
Yep, exactly.
And then what about an air conditioner that's leaking? That can happen.
Yeah, if it's leaking into the indoors and affecting or getting building materials wet,
or the ductwork,
carpet, or into the ductwork, yes.
Now, is it true that even if you clean it up, if it still has a source of food, it's going to keep going?
Yes, if you have a food source and there's still a leak and water supplying that food source, being anything organic like wood or paper or drywall, hardwood flooring,
so it takes
that has organic
compound. It takes moisture, air, and organic compound.
Exactly.
So water and air on steel, would that grow mold?
Not necessarily.
Unless some kind of organisms got on the steel, right?
Yes, exactly. It could tend to get rusty. Like air duct systems in Colorado, like I don't commonly see mold inside them, but if you're down in, say, Texas, Florida, you'll see it more of an abundance. I don't see it too often here in Colorado, but some people with whole home humidifiers, you can sometimes they get stuck at 100%, and then you get a complete you basically get water throughout the HVAC system, and I've seen windows become condensated from people's humidifiers that were stuck at 100% for extended period of time.
Now we're going to try to help Julie get this air checked. Mold check 720-971-9900. Mold check, and they're also on our referral list at referrallist.com. Mold check. Michael's trying to get paid from who, Michael?
Kyle Stacy.
Is that a general contractor?
Yes, he owns commercial management services.
Okay, and why aren't you getting paid?
Well, it's turned into quite of a circus.
Are there others not getting paid?
No, not as of right now. I'm the only one because I'm the only one on the job right now. Or I was the only one on the job. But I'm a wood framer. But he got in contact with me and asked me if I wanted to do these storage units for him, and he said they're really easy to do. And
you can put a lien. You can put a lien on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm in the process of doing. But yeah,
that's the way to do it, Michael. We will help you through that process with our experts if you want to do that.
Yeah, something needs to be done. Well, the issue is he changed the plans. He wanted the plans changed well, he had me do the plans different than what they're on the plans, and then now the owner's seen that there are some issues.
Right, and he's blaming you. It doesn't matter. If you did, listen, what matters is you did the work. The guy can't just say, I'm not paying. And here's what we can do. We can help you through the process. As I said, we have attorneys and stuff, but you need to take the first step. And Mark, that's notification, right? Intent to lien, the owner.
10-day warning.
Does he send it to the GC too, or just the...
I wouldn't. I'd send it directly to the homeowner.
Yeah, or the property owner, Michael. Michael, go online and figure out how to at least send that intent to lien, or you can contact one of our attorneys on referralist.com. We will help you through the process. Okay, Suzanne, give him, get his name and number and tell him where he can call or if he needs some more help. But intent to lien is the first step. 303-713-TALK. Listen, today is car day. We have another hour to go after this one, and we're going to try to concentrate on car problems. Kirk, I noticed you're calling about your Audi, and we have our experts here. We haven't had that many car problems, but we do have some emails as well we'll delve into. Centennial Schultz, stem cell therapy. Those two words go together, not amniotic fluid, because amniotic fluid is not living stem cell therapy. Not unless you took the amniotic fluid directly from the woman and injected it right there in the doctor's office. But they don't do that. They pack it up. They ship it out. You are not getting living stem cells. Please go to a clinic that we know and trust for shoulders, knees, arthritis, for back pain, Achilles, ACLs. Go to Centennial Schultz. You will not be disappointed. They're so honest that if you're not a candidate, they're just going to tell you instead of force it on you. They have other options as well. CentennialSchultz.com, 2 locations near in DTC area, Lone Tree, and then up in Broomfield, 303-963-9201. That's 303-963-9201.
This report is brought to you by the Flood Control District of the 7-County
What are you crying about?
area. Trouble's up in the high country. Got a closure of eastbound I-70 up at Vale Pass between mile markers 184 and 190. That's due to a truck fire. Truck 40 Rochester. Got the entire highway blocked. Fire crews and police are all on the scene. No other time when it will reopen, so pack your patience along that stretch. Back in town, a couple of crashes off highway. One being Greater Brandon, another one northbound Parker near Chambers.
Too much fun time lately.
Severe snowstorms today. Be careful out there. High of 87. Right now, cloudy and 75.
How's business, Tom?
Yeah, pretty good. I got a new service writer, and I just got my first 1-star review though. It says I guess he must have called in or something. It says that my guy told him that his car would be okay, the radiator would be okay if it's running hot or something. And then I guess the transmission cooler blew and he lost his train. I don't know. It's weird because I mean, did the vehicle even come in? Did we even talk?
See, and Tom says this all the time too, is once you do work with some mechanics on one, you pretty much own the car. You could be doing an oil change, and a tire blew 3 days later, and they'll come back.
You're saying that wouldn't be his fault?
Well, I don't even know if the car came in our door. It sounded like he just called for advice or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What advice you give them?
Yeah, just got the review.
That's great. Yes, baby?
I was just really deflated. It took all I could not to cry after she told me that.
Which one?
Where is it in Kansas, though?
Oh.
It's 6 hours away.
Oh.
You want her here?
Oh, yeah.
At least you got closer than Texas, though.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
A lot closer, but I'm just like, I'm so deflated. I thought it was too. I got my hopes too up. That's all.
What part of Kansas, though, is it?
It's called Fort Riley, Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just north of Salina. So Colby, Kansas is halfway.
Oh, my God.
Remember that little town?
Fort Riley.
It's fucking Oklahoma, basically.
No, it's not quite. Oklahoma's 10 hours.
Is that where they got the big federal prison there? Fort Riley?
I don't know. They might. Oh, he didn't. So I just got off the phone with Barb.
Who's Barb?
The lady that helped us with Doreen. Yeah.
Why'd you guys okey-doke her so bad?
Yeah.
She.
You wanted that knife?
So I did. I wanted that knife more than anything, you know, because Mark really.
And that 1987 purse from Montgomery Ward's for $8.
Yes, I've been dreaming about it.
Tell her the knife is in the bag on the bottom of the pile.
There you go. It's back in the corner, all the way at the bottom.
In the white bag.
Yeah. So she said, so we are going to talk on Monday. You, Mark, Barb, and I are going. She really thinks you need to be there.
Why?
Because she wants you videoing it.
I've got shift that day. What day was it?
Oh, I haven't picked what day that is.
Good job.
I've got lunch.
Daphne, good job.
But Barb and I talked,
Yes.
and she said, I really think that we're dealing with dementia.
Of course you
She is in trouble, and she said, I really think we need to call Adult Protective Services and get them involved.
You probably are. She probably does have dementia.
And she said she just goes off on these tangents, and she keeps wanting to show up to help her get the stuff together, and she won't let her in, and so she's not being proactive in her own life. So I just wanted to bounce that off of you.
We don't have a choice. I mean,
I agree.
I don't know what to do.
I said, that's what I said to Barb. I go, you know, I'm going to tell Tom what we're doing. I said, but this isn't his area of expertise. I said,
She's going to think you're me, so I don't think you got to be.
they need to come in and evaluate her. She said she's
Just remember what your name is.
hyper-spending money again.
She doesn't have money. Where's she getting it?
She's spending the money that she has that she's not going to have. She's going to end up out on the street.
And he's already a call.
So so we're going to talk on Monday. That's the plan. And then Mark will go with us over there to get
Yeah, Mark.
the stuff that we have.
He's Mark from now on.
She loves you, Mark.
He does.
What woman doesn't?
We asked for you.
I'm missing a piece here. You guys helped somebody move out. Was this lady that called into the show?
Yeah.
That the place that was taking her out?
Yes. That was
Okay.
So we physically moved her.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Kirk, what's going on with your car, Kirk?
I took my car to Aurora Audi for some cooling system problems. They fixed the water pump, heater hose, and a timing belt. So when I went to go pick my car up...
That's a lot of work, bro.
Yeah, when I went to go pick my car up, it wouldn't drive. So I asked the guy, Martin...
Wait a minute. You took it in for a timing belt, and what else? A heater hose?
Heater hose and a water pump.
Okay,
they fixed all of that. I paid them for that.
Was it running when you took it in?
Yes.
Okay.
I had it towed, but I had it towed to them because all the radiator fluid was leaking out of the car, so I couldn't drive.
Okay, so the obvious question to them: why isn't it running? What did they say?
Okay, so they did a diagnostic. They came up with all the issues that I said they repaired. So after they repaired it, they called me, tell me I can come and pick my car up.
We got to that part, and it won't run. So why won't it? That's an obvious question. My car won't run. Why?
So then they hook it up to this diagnostic machine, and they come up with there's an issue with the transmission. So my first question was...
So Kirk, when you said it wouldn't run after they did all that work, was it starting and not moving, or was it revving?
It would start and it wouldn't move.
Okay. And they came up with what kind of transmission trouble?
They couldn't actually pinpoint it. So, but my question was to them, didn't you have to drive my car after you did the work on the heater, on the cooling system, to see if it was fixed properly? The answer was yes. So I said, well,
or not necessarily. I mean, either way. Look at the mileage. Did they drive it or not?
They did drive it.
Okay.
Yes, they drove the car.
I'm not asking if they said they... Hold on, Kirk. Kirk. I'm not asking if they... No. I didn't ask if they said they drove it. I want to know if they actually did drive it. See, some guys might say, oh, yeah, we drove it. It's just a canned answer. What I want to know is, did you notice on the odometer if they had driven it or not?
I didn't pay attention to the mileage on the car.
Okay, so now, hold on, and we're not going to end, even though you hear that music, we're gonna take you again, but what are they proposing?
They're telling me that they can get me a transmission for it, but it's going to cost me $1,200, and that's only for a 30-day warranty on the transmission.
Okay, how many miles on the car?
It's about 170,000.
All right, hold on a second. We're going to tackle this and more coming up. If you want granite or solid surface or any kind of countertops,
Towed in, we never drove it.
170,000 miles.
Let's say they blew it 1,000. Let's say they blew it. Okay, so
I was in a car with a customer. We were doing a test drive together, and the fuel pump failed on the test drive.
And they blamed you.
And no, he didn't. And but I said to him, "Thank God you were with me, because this is our first experience together. And imagine if I had to call you, you know, and say, hey, guess what? Your car doesn't run anymore. You know,
I
right
think
after
you
you
guys have a big problem when you work on cars with more than 110,000 miles.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Ever since you serviced my microwave, my light bulb doesn't work right.
Shit happens.
I promise
Case
you,
of the ever since.
one of the biggest problems are when things happen after a repair. It doesn't matter what happens, you own the car.
Yep. We see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Sometimes you have to eat it. Sometimes you try to figure out how to talk to a customer,
Especially if it's in your possession.
to make it make sense to them, that they understand that, you know, this is not. Cause I had a perfect example. I had a Subaru. We resealed the motor, head gaskets were leaking, everything like that. Very common. We seal them all the time. Car, several months later, developed a rod knock. Did I reseal all the rod knocks? No, all the oil was still in it. Everything was fine. The guy didn't make it up. Why didn't you tell me my engine was bad? Well, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad 2 months ago.
Right.
That's the other problem. I wouldn't have had the work done
If I know, yeah.
I hear it all the time. I would have traded him for another vehicle. I mean, hindsight's fantastic. The people knowing on 9/11 they wouldn't have went to work had they known. You know, it's like knowing is huge. But what are you gonna do?
Look, his whole attorney is turning on him.
Tom hates Trump.
No, I don't.
He kind of does. I think he's a Hillary lover.
I think he is. I swear to God,
I think he was a closet Hillary lover.
Or he just constantly tries to bust my balls. So
I think
it might be number two.
I think he's got lib in him. He just doesn't want to come out because nobody will label him.
I've noticed this, man. As you get older, and I'm talking where I have seen it, and it's very obvious, is between, say, 55 and 70. They get more liberal. They simply do. I don't know what it is. I'm not that old yet. I don't know. You might get to a point where you go, everybody should have free health care. I don't know.
Mark,
I'm not that old yet.
Accurate. I don't like Trump's personality. It has nothing to do with politics.
Would you say, and I was just saying this,
Just
I
in a
wasn't
broad
using
brush.
you as an example.
I don't like the personality.
Have you gotten more liberal as you've gotten older?
No.
I don't believe it.
No, that's not horrible stuff.
No.
I think most people do, not just you. I think most people.
When you're young, if you're not liberal, you have no heart.
I noticed that
And
about
when you get older, if you're
tax
not conservative,
rate
you
with
have
Disney
no heart.
Harbor, and I noticed must be the tomato.
I like that.
It's true.
That's probably the stuff.
I've heard that before.
I think the message of the liberal is the utopia thing.
Yeah, but
It's probably what resonates. It
It's
probably
not
resonates.
self-sustained.
You
Of
know,
course it is.
everybody, we're all together. We love everyone. Everyone should have health care. Taxes should be lower. The world should be a peaceful place.
This woman that won in
I've
New
gone
York,
from
man.
totally liberal to totally conservative to moderate.
Okay, so that's exactly what I just asked
That's
you.
because I was so conservative. That's why. It's not really, you can't call me liberal.
See, I went liberal, now I'm completely conservative. So I'm sure I'll bounce back.
No, Mark, I don't think you really will. I think older people tend to be conservative.
Well, here's the problem with when we talk. I was a Democrat forever. My Democrats are gone. There isn't one anymore.
No,
Bill Clinton was a great fucking Democrat.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone
I voted
says.
for him.
I love Bill Clinton.
I voted for Bill Clinton.
Up until Trump, he was the best president I ever fucking knew of. I liked him better than Reagan.
I actually think Jimmy Carter was good, but ineffective, but he was a good man.
He was a great man that did a lot of things for people, but as a leader of a powerful country, he did what? He
Till
killed
this
all
day,
those
he's
people.
out there building houses for people, man. I mean, as far as a man and morals, he's the best.
Well, Habitat for Humanity was started by him, wasn't it?
If it wasn't, it's because of him. How's that?
So I moved out basically 1982 from my house. That's when I graduated high school in '81. Moved out here. My mom moved away, got her own place. My dad had died during high school. I had no clue. My mom was an absolute devout Republican. She supported every campaign, had all the pins and all the stuff. We didn't find a lot of this out until she died. She never really talked to us about it.
Jeff, look at that.
Oh, she had the certificates from the Republican National Committee and
You should
stuff.
make a big,
Dude, it was crazy. I have no idea.
no, but you should make a big poster of it and stuff of that, or a big shadow box.
Her name was known.
What's the last one?
That was probably 90.
Well,
He was on the bookstore for
Oh,
habitat.
she had
did you
racing
see the picture of
stuff.
Sammy Hagar
I mean,
and
she
Bill Clinton
had,
side by side?
No.
What was it, Quail?
And Quayle was with,
Who was it now?
Right, there you go. Yeah, he had, I got all the stuff. I had no idea, man. No idea.
Did you get like Nixon? Was it that?
Yes.
Back to Nixon?
Oh, she went back.
Okay.
She was, and like, by the thousands, she would give money.
Wow, you did not. So now they want you to give money.
Yeah, I know. Holy shit, that's fucked up.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I did. And it makes sense.
I know, right?
Sammy Hagar looks good, man.
Is that Clinton Biden?
Yeah, look at that. Sammy is 40 years of sex, alcohol, drugs. Let me see. Look, they're the same age. Sammy Hagar and Bill Clinton, same age.
How old's Bill?
69.
Bill 69?
Look at the difference. That's incredible. You know what they did? You can find a picture of anybody out of
No,
that.
no, no.
what I'll look like in 4 years.
No. I've never seen lately a good picture of Bill.
Okay, I'll find one right now.
You show me a good one.
Bill Clinton,
Good picture.
good picture. But we need one that's now. Here he is, right here. This was taken last week.
Yeah!
You want to see Hillary last week? Hillary Clinton.
Really? Oh my God! I just chilly.
I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being right.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk. What's on your mind? How can we help you? Today is car day. We have our experts, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, Alaramas Pro Auto Care, Tom Maggio, Hands-On Auto Tech, and we're going for it. Kirk says he has a problem, and we call this problem owning the car. Now, what we mean by that is those in the auto repair business, and we're not saying this is wrong. This could be right. It could be wrong. It depends. People in the auto business, when they take a car in, anything that goes wrong with the car in their possession is their fault, not really. But according to the customer, it's their fault. It doesn't matter what happens. If it goes wrong and you've had the car or worked on the car and you have it in your possession, you're automatically wrong. If you just gave it back to the consumer and it's within a few days or a few hundred miles, you're probably wrong too. So really, the question is, how is it connected? The fact that you had it doesn't make you automatically responsible. Then there's another thing, and it's called loss. What did you lose? I'll give you an example. I tell mechanics, auto shops, like our present company, I would be very, very reluctant to take a car in at all for any repair with more than 150,000 miles. Because no matter what work you do, it's going to need other work. And you're going to be blamed for it. So you have an Audi, Aurora Audi, you have 170,000 miles on it. So let's talk about this. You think they ruined your transmission because they had to drive your car in order to check the timing belt, the heater, and the water pump. By the way, that probably cost you a pretty penny. What did all that cost you?
$1,100.
Yeah, not as bad as I thought. Actually, I thought the timing belt alone would have been $1,100. I'm hoping they really did your time. I'm serious. I'm hoping they really did your timing belt. I'm serious now.
Right.
I mean, that sounds way cheap. Way cheap. So, let's say they did, for argument's sake, they did your timing belt, they did everything. They drove your car and the transmission went out. Why would they ever be responsible for that if they're driving your car and you have 170,000 miles? Why would they be responsible? Now, by the way, Kirk, I'm not arguing with you here. I'm playing devil's advocate. We're talking. So I'm talking and I'm asking, why, Kirk, are they responsible? Why?
Well, I would think because they told me they drove the car and it drove.
Sure.
It drove properly when they tested it.
Right.
Then when I went to pick it up, then it won't move.
No doubt. No doubt. Let's say it did fail. But why are they responsible? They just happen to be driving it. I really mean this. What makes them responsible for it?
It was in their possession. If I was driving somebody's car...
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. If I let you borrow my car, Kirk, if I let you borrow my car with 170,000 miles on it, and you were taking it to 7-Eleven, and the transmission seized, are you telling me that you would feel obligated to replace that transmission?
Probably not, but that's a shop. I mean, isn't that different? That's
no,
not different?
Kirk, I'm telling you this because I want you to be loaded the right way. I want you to have a proper argument. Now, if they took that car and revved it up and abused it or did not drive it correctly, they are responsible, okay? Did they, for example, some guy gets behind the wheel, he yanks it into gear, pulls off, does something, they're responsible. So, what could they have done? Jeff, what kind of driving would have blown a transmission? I'm saying a normal transmission.
They would have had to have gotten extremely aggressive with it.
Okay. Now, the way we find out, Kirk, is simply crack it open and find out what's wrong with it. But let's say another thing, and this is the part you're not going to like, but I'm telling you this out of my years and years and years of experience, not to give you a hard time. It does me no good if I lie to you and say, hell yeah, let's go after them. You got them, man. Okay, here's the deal. Let's say they're 100% responsible for ruining that transmission because the guy abused it. Okay, let's say that. What do they owe you?
I mean, I just need my car fixed.
Right. So what would they owe you if they ruined your transmission? And Kirk, I'm not trying, again, this is for education. What?
I have shopped around for a transmission. Now, a used transmission would cost me like $1,200, I guess, and it would probably have close to 100. It would have 100-some thousand miles.
Then you would
be.
Then you're thinking correctly. You're right. They would not owe you a new one if they ruined it. They would owe you the same transmission as you lost, something with some mileage on it. But you don't have to split hairs. It doesn't have to have exact miles. A used transmission installed is what they would owe you. So now we have to decide, if they caused the problem, they should get you a used transmission and they should install it. What do they say about that? Do they say, you know, Kirk, we're sorry, I think we ruined your transmission?
No, the only thing that they're telling me is that they will knock some money off of the labor, but they want me to pay for the transmission.
How much did they say?
Like $1,200.
Okay.
And then $300 for labor because they said they're knocking 5 hours of labor off.
So guys,
me for 3
they
hours
want $1,500 and they're saying that's a discount for a used transmission.
He's getting off cheap.
He's getting off cheap.
He certainly is. Yeah.
So they are helping him.
Yeah.
What kind of a transmission are they getting for that?
It's a 2004 Volvo S80, so it's a front wheel drive.
Wait a minute.
Transmission.
They're putting in a different car completely?
No, it's a Volvo. It's not an Audi.
Oh, why did I think? Aurora. I'm sorry. Aurora Audi is the dealership. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kirk. Okay. So listen. Here's the deal. They're treating you right as far as what they're offering now, unless they're responsible for it. So, Kirk, that's a tough one.
How would I know that?
You got to have it cracked open and looked at. So here's what you do. You make the agreement subject to inspection of the transmission. Well, you make the agreement.
And be prepared to pay for that inspection if it comes back they didn't mess it up.
What I'm saying is once they remove that transmission to put the next one in, take that transmission to someone to examine. You have to pay for an inspection. And then, what would you look for, Jeff, to show that they ruined it and it didn't wear out?
I'm going to definitely be looking for some sort of hard part damage, whether it's gears or
otherwise,
it
just wore out.
Yes, but I'm going to have to see something substantial that says that this
is your gut telling you it just wore out?
My gut is telling me that
It just
at least he doesn't have to tow it
notorious
there.
for that year vehicle.
Yeah,
Those year vehicles have tranny issues.
The likelihood is that, Kirk, you got away without having to pay for a tow to get it into the shop.
In other words, it would have happened anyway, is what they're saying, Kirk. How long have you owned this car?
A year.
So you have no idea how it was treated.
No.
So
well,
listen,
I've driven it for a year, and I never dogged the car out at all.
No doubt.
But they do have common failures.
Remember, it had 100 and something thousand miles. I mean, how many miles when you bought it?
And it was driving. It had 100 and I believe it had 170,000. I've only put like 9,000 miles on the car.
So yeah, man, it had 170,000. Now it has 180. Listen, man, I'm telling you, you have to make that decision. The car's, I don't even know what it's worth, but if they're going to do it for $1,500, that they are giving you a deal. Our experts are telling you that, and we don't know this dealer from anywhere. We're telling you really unbiased, straight information. We're telling you that most likely they did not burn out your transmission. We're telling you that the price they're giving you is a good price. And the price they gave you on the timing belt, the heater, and the water pump is an exceptional price. So really, Kirk, you're walking out of there with a timing belt, a heater, a water pump, and a used transmission. For how much? $2,600? Are you kidding me? I mean, if you look at that total package, it's unbelievable, guys.
Yeah, it really is a good deal. And that's the whole thing. When you get these things fixed on this car, that's been in there for a long, long time. You've got this piece where you got a used vehicle you bought. Not many miles later, you're having to put a bunch of cash into it. That's what happens when you buy used. Unfortunately, that's where you start looking at stuff, checking, and try to avoid some of these problems. But there's stuff that you just can't see sometimes.
Okay, now listen. Again, this is all predicated on the fact that they didn't ruin it. We don't think they did. And that you really did get that timing belt done. I mean, I find that an extraordinary price. So let us know if you need anything else. Ben, what's going on, Ben?
Hey, Al, are you there, my friend?
Al is there.
Al, do you recall our conversation about my wife's Volkswagen?
Yeah, I certainly do. A couple weeks ago.
What's going on, sir?
Yeah, basically, Al, I did take it into your Delia shop.
Yeah.
And I worked with Mike.
Perfect.
Very good. All your employees.
And what's the issue?
There is actually no issue.
She doesn't drive this thing. She puts no miles.
So what's going on? What did you want to comment on?
Well, what I wanted to ask Al, and I forgot to ask Mike.
Yes.
What is your 36,000-mile guarantee? Is that for flats, towing, out of gas? What's it for?
Well, there's two things. They warranty the repair, and then they give you 36,000-mile roadside assistance for anything, right, Al?
Yeah, so it's going to be fuel, flat tire, stuff like that. It's a reimbursement program.
Yeah.
You call the 800 number. They'll send somebody, or you can call your place. You basically produce that you've paid the receipt. They give you basically a reimbursement back on the expenditure. We have all the details at the shop. You should have got a packet.
Well, I did, Al. In fact, they lent me a loaner car overnight, which was great.
Now, the roadside assistance is different than the warranty.
Yep.
No, I understand that, but
Okay.
They did lend me the loaner car overnight, and I want to know, do I get paid for advertising your shop, driving your car?
No, and actually what I was considering is because you're in our car with our name, it makes you look better. Therefore,
we're going to
you've got a
charge
benefit.
you. We're going to charge you, Ben. Okay, listen, we got more coming up.
What do I get out of
The
that?
high country eastbound I-70 has
You can use my car.
pass has been shut down.
So if you go out of fuel, you get new tank fuel?
Yeah. Get the off to the right shoulder there.
That's a big, so big, so wow. What do you mean you only bought me a gallon?
So I had a guy lived in Parker, doing his car, took 470
metro area,
back and forth
between Albany and 6th Avenue.
I lived right
on the west side of town there,
drove
so
it
you
4 or
get
5
what
times a
the
day.
weather forecast.
Had the car
thunderstorms possible today. Be careful out there. A high of 87 right now. Cloudy and 79.
You owe me some money for tolls.
6:30 anyhow.
I do. Come celebrate the grand opening of Furniture's newest bedroom store in Denver, featuring hundreds of bedroom groups and the industry's top mattresses from Denver Mattress, like the luxurious Aspen Bed in a Box. America's largest mattress and bedroom superstore at I-25.
I mean, a lot of times, quickly on I-25, you can't get going fast enough, to do the stuff people talk about. So we're close enough proximity to you, so we do comment.
Reflecting their German
I
design
have,
and engineering
after a couple of people were complaining that we were out there, without the permission, it's like, well, look, we have to right now.
floors, ceiling cabinets to
We have to give them a behind way
even
to do it.
appliances.
Trustmark.com.
Right there. That's HAUSS. 720-325-5040. 720-325-5040.
We may have to do this.
Attention Denver, how would you like the chance to earn dollars every month and consistently?
I never even thought of that.
Well, listen to this. Actor Dean Cain, known as Superman on ABC's hit TV show Lois and Clark, and now a real estate investor with a national real estate network, are giving away their Riches in Real Estate kit for free to anyone who calls now. They'll show you their formula for creating a monthly cash flow machine for flipping houses, and flip houses in your spare time for potential profits. If you're interested in embarking on a new adventure and possibly changing your life and starting a new path, then you need to call right now. Call 1-800-363-4660 now to get your free Riches and Real Estate kit. Call 800-363-4660 now. And you'll also get free tickets to a live training event with a free meal, a free smartwatch, and a free flash drive loaded with vital information just for attending. Call 800-363-4660. That's 800-363-4660 for your free Riches and Real Estate kit today.
What do you think about this?
I'm very proud to be a part of Shant Automotive Group's
Okay,
so everybody wants put your eyeglasses
was sending me now his
eyeglass
service history.
donated to Children's Hospital Pediatric Burn Unit.
Yes.
I don't know, this is a weird
When
one.
am I gonna
Do you call something like that, or you just respond?
Go see them this week.
You respond to it, but I would say,
I
look,
would
I would want to know why they
one
refused,
time,
because you should have called and said, hey, I would want to know, how did your job do the process? How did it get to a point where you're giving a negative review?
Yeah, why didn't he didn't even end up in the shop?
Wait a minute.
He never even came to the shop. Apparently he called, talked to Charlie.
Oh, that's wrong. You mean he never even went to your shop?
He never even came in. He
Oh.
was there 3 years ago.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Tony, what's going on with you? Hello, Tony.
Yes, hi.
What's happening?
Oh, nothing actually. I went to CarMax to get my vehicle appraised, and I don't know if their appraisal is exactly all that accurate.
Well, were you looking to sell it to them?
Yeah, actually I was, and while I was sitting there, and this is why, and they could be right, I don't know. But
You know, Rockies does that too. I would get more than one. I'm not saying either one of them you should take, but at least get more than one. What did they say?
Well, they found nothing wrong with the vehicle. There was no accidents in the history report.
Sure.
Basically, when they came back and they showed me the report, there was a ding on the hood. And then they said that the transmission needed service. Well, when I asked them about that, the gal that came out that test drove it said that when she floored it and it shifted down to speed up, she didn't like how it shifted.
Okay.
And they gave me a $500 appraisal on a 2007 Mercury Mountaineer.
Okay. How many miles on it?
It's got 192,000, and you know I understand that it could have issues, but at the same
2007 Mercury Mountaineer with 100 and how many?
92,000.
192,000 miles, and they want to give you 500. So they're going to put a minimum of $1,000 in time and manpower and stuff, and probably
No, they're wholesaling that.
Well, here's the thing.
What do you mean they're wholesaling?
They're wholesaling. If they get that car, that's going to be sold off to a lot.
Then why would they even buy it then?
They want him to get a car deal. They want him to buy a car.
Oh.
They're not going to put that out on a lot. They're not going to sell cars with that miles.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they want to just move it. They're going to basically have a wholesaler come on the lot and buy cars, and they're going to make a couple hundred.
The wholesale might make they might make a couple hundred on it.
Yeah, that's why she's not giving them anything.
Let's ask our guy. Let's ask our wholesaler. Okay, hold on. We'll get a real wholesale price. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. 2000. Just get the information, Suzanne. Let's get a real wholesale price from our guy. Mark. 303-713-TALK. Maureen, what's going on? Hello, Maureen.
Hi.
What's going on?
I have my stuff in the storage facility, and I had a deadline to pay it last Tuesday at noon.
How far behind were you?
I'm not sure. I think that was the second one coming due. And we knew it was an auction issue. I had spoken to them and told them that I would talk to them on Tuesday. And we've been there 3 years. They know me and my husband really well.
Do you know how much you owed?
$970.
And what happened?
I called that day, tried to make a payment 3 different times, couldn't get him, got the voicemail. I called back that afternoon, nobody answered. I called him next.
How were you going to make a payment?
What's that?
How were you going to make the payment?
Debit card on the phone.
And you couldn't go there, huh?
Correct. I didn't have a vehicle to get there, and I take care of an elderly person in the daytime. So
that sucks. So hold on. Did they sell your stuff?
Yeah, everything that me and my children own. And he knew that when I called the next morning, he told me they had sold it.
Oh man!
It's not a private-owned place. It's a corporate storage, and the people were there picking it up. And I told him, I said, you can't do that. I met the deadline. I called you.
Well, you didn't really meet the deadline because payment is due by that time. Did they have an online way of paying?
I don't know if they do or not, but I'm not set up for that. So, and we're in a small town. We're north of Denver in a small town, and like I said, the people.
What's the town, Maureen?
Brighton.
Listen, they probably have an online pay. I mean, that you could have done with whether you're set up or not. I mean, I don't know if they're set up for online, but your argument is you were ready to cure, but you had no way of doing it because they would not answer.
Correct, and I've called him and he knew that we were calling on Tuesday, and he has both of our contact numbers. He's been in regular.
Well, but he doesn't have to call you.
Correct.
Are you saying that he purposely ignored your calls?
I don't know if he purposely ignored my calls. I think he was busy and failed to check the voicemail, and a mistake was made.
I wonder if he made less selling the stuff than what was owed.
I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing valuable in it. If you opened it and looked in it, you wouldn't. I mean, watching Storage Wars, you wouldn't pay $500 for it. I don't think, but
they probably didn't pay much for it.
Yeah, and he like I said, people were there picking it up. He told them that.
My whole point was if he even thought he was going to get paid.
What did he tell them? What did he tell them?
He told them that I wanted to buy some of the items back, which is absolutely not true.
Well, hold on. Why is it not true? What if you just said, I was willing to pay $970 to keep the stuff, so pay $970 to get it?
Correct. Oh yeah, I'd pay what? Yeah, absolutely that. Yes, but I mean.
I'll bet you they would take $970. I'll bet you they didn't pay $970.
If I know who they were, I'd absolutely give it to him. But I can't have that contact information from him. He won't give it to me.
Oh, that's too bad. I mean, it's too bad. Can't he call them and make that offer? Say, look, the person who rented it said they'll pay you the back rent.
He can, but he's not. He's being real pompous about it. He's not being very helpful.
That seems just mean. I mean, listen,
yes,
you probably don't have a legal leg to stand on, but I'll bet you.
No, because we had a recorded phone call, and he admitted that I had called and left him a message before noon.
That's not payment.
Yes, on the payment.
Well, Maureen, that is not payment, is what I'm saying.
Well,
okay,
I know it's not payment,
so let's go there. You're saying you have a legal, you're going to win, is what you're saying. If you sued him, you would win. So sue him. If you think you're going to win, I don't know how you think you're going to win, because all you had to do was pay, and any reasonable person would say after being that much back all that time, you had to get there and pay. They don't care that you're taking care of somebody. I do. They don't. The courts don't care.
No.
They're not going to listen to an excuse, but you're saying because you left a message that's frozen in time, therefore you should have had a right when he had somebody there willing to buy it. I think the guy's being a jerk, but I don't think he's being an illegal jerk. I don't think he cheated you, but I do think he's being a jerk. I mean, you have a couple choices here, all right? We can try to be nice to the guy, see if he'll pass your message along, or you can try to sue the guy. But what would you sue for? How much in damages do you have? What do you think that stuff was worth?
I'm 56 some years old. Every family picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What do you think you have in damages? Because all you want is your stuff back. I get it. I would love to help you try to talk to this guy. But you seem to think you have some legal claim here. So maybe you should assert your legal claim. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you don't. I mean, we have plenty of attorneys that you could hire to do this. I mean...
Well, I've called a bazillion of them.
No, Maureen, no. You didn't call and say, I am willing to pay you by the hour to get my stuff back. What you probably said was you wanted it on contingency. Because right now, I'll get Mark Kranak, you pay his hourly rate, and right this minute, I can get you to hire him. Do you want an attorney? You can hire him right this minute. You might have to pay a retainer of $2,000 or $3,000. That's normal for any attorney because they just want to make sure they get paid. Maybe he would even take a $1,000 retainer. But you're telling me you can't. Not only did you just tell me you had a legal case, but now you're telling me you can't find an attorney. Don't those two sound counter to you? If you have a legal case, why can't you find an attorney?
I have called. Well, you get the lady on the phone that wants to discuss.
And what do you say when do you say I would like to hire an attorney by the hour to bring a lawsuit against a storage facility? Is that what you say?
No, that's not how I approach it.
How did you approach it? I want to know why you could not find an attorney, and I, honest to God, really want to know. I'm not giving you a hard time. What did you say that you could not hire an attorney?
Most of the cases have been is they don't hire that sort, or I'm sorry, not hire. They don't handle that sort of case.
Okay, that's good. We can find someone. Call Mark Kranak right now. Ask him if he'll work by the hour for this woman. We will get you an attorney if you want one. Do you want to go and sue this guy?
Well, I'd like to try to negotiate, to ration it out and get my belongings back for what was owed.
That's what I think is smart. I think we try to ask the guy in a nice way, please just let them know this woman will pay the money she owed you because she wants her stuff. She just wants...
I mean, my children's father committed suicide 2 years ago.
That's terrible.
And things from him are in there, and just, I mean...
I agree with you 100%. You know what? I'm going to see if we can get Deputy Daff to do this, to contact that guy and help you. Listen, we're not asking the guy to do anything wrong. We're not even asking for the phone number. We're just saying, would you call them and just say, look, you just bought it. You can make probably double their money. They probably paid $400 or $500 for that stuff. Do you know that? That's probably what they paid. They don't want they're probably going to throw your personal stuff away.
Exactly. And I mean, I don't have not a printed family picture with me.
I think the reason the guy postured himself is because you were ridiculous and trying to claim you had some kind of legal claim. That's why.
No, I think what he did was, I think he did not check his phone, did not check his voicemail.
You keep talking about that. See, Maureen, that's why he's not helping you. He doesn't want to hear that he's the one that made the mistake. Own up to it. You didn't pay your rent. You don't go to the last couple of hours and then blame this guy. There were months and months and months and months and months you could have paid.
Oh, it wasn't months and months. My unit's $300 a month.
How many months was it, Maureen?
So I had owed him.
How many months was it?
And then that one was coming due.
How many months was it?
It's 3. I guess it was 3 at that point.
3 months. So would you say 3 months was enough time to get a check over to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is, don't blame him for selling that stuff because he didn't check his voicemail in the final hour. Come on, Maureen. Jesus, this is what I mean. People do not own up to their responsibility. They want us to bail them out, and they want everyone else to be wrong. That's not the game we play. We will help people, but by God, you're going to face reality. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We're trying to get a wholesale price quickly. Can we get a hold of Mark or not?
I don't know who Mark is, but Bob the car guy said $1,000 to $1,500.
Yeah, that's the Mark. That's the Mark I was talking about. So, I love Bob the car guy. Oh wait, he does wholesale, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's who I thought you were talking about. He said $1,500 tops.
Tops.
Like best.
We know it's not going to be $1,500 because we know Bob wouldn't pay $1,500. So ask him what he would pay right now. Ask him. That's really what you do. You ask, what are you willing to write a check for right now? The man has a bid at $500. Will you give more? That's how I know.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. You don't say, what do you think? You know, I like these guys to say, oh, that faucet shouldn't have cost you that much. I could have done it for this. Yeah, why didn't you? Because nobody says, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, as they say. 303-713-TALK.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station with Ross Commit.
I like what you said there at the end, because it's like this guy with the review.
With that older car.
Yeah. What does he expect? What does he want from us? He never bought the car.
What is he actually complaining about?
His exact review says.
And where did he make that review?
On Google.
And he never does he say it was a year ago he called you?
No, because he mentions Charlie, and Charlie's only worked for me for 2 months.
So what did he say?
Told me my radiator would be okay as long as I didn't run my car hot. The transmission cooler busted inside my radiator and ruined my transmission. Some shady.
And he never even looked at the car.
Some shady dude from New York is running this place. Creepy. That's his exact review.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would go on and say, it is so strange that you would write a review now. This happened 3 years ago. We never even looked at.
I think he called. He must have called in.
Called us on the phone.
Is this
That's what I would say.
crazy? I got one too.
Really?
I got one from a repair 3 years ago. A guy brought it in an extended Suburban. You know how the load leveling on the Denali's?
Yeah.
You know how much that costs to fix those things?
Yeah.
$3,500.
Yeah.
Guy freaked out. He's like, I can't afford this truck. Okay. He goes, I found an option online. You can buy this and the other one. We have no experience with that stuff.
You cheated.
We freaking put it in. Okay, this one Manny was with me.
Oh,
we turned around and said, look, we do the best we can. We bought it from a local vendor. Maybe it won't. He came back, had a problem. We warranty. We did the pump. We did the shocks. We did the controls. We're like, what, man? We said, dude, man, we can't keep warrantying this. It's not covered on our other one. And now he wrote me a nice review. These guys ripped me off. Never fixed my problem. And I put on it. He drove this car for 23,000 miles. Are you out of your stinking mind? And he wrote this nice review. What do you do? I mean, you try, and that's what cases you get burned. You try to help somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get killed because he couldn't afford 30.
My only other negative review was the same deal, trying to help a guy. He brought this Mercedes in.
Oh, God.
And needed a thermostat. It's a $700 job all day long.
Yes, sir.
And he chewed me down. Come on, man, it's Christmas, blah, blah, blah. He got me down to like $600. I said, fine. I just want to get off the phone. I did the work. He comes in to pick it up with $450 in cash.
Oh, God.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I know.
After he did that.
And
this is all I got is what he tells you.
He starts arguing, blah, blah, blah. It was Christmas, the night before Christmas Eve, 6 o'clock at night. I want to go home. I just said, you know what, fine. Took the $450, gave him his keys, said, you know, hopefully I'll never see him again. Came back like a week later, check engine light on. So I pull the code real quick. It's a completely unrelated running rich code, you know. Well, I want you to diagnose
you need to figure, tell me what's wrong.
I said, I'm not working for you anymore. You didn't pay me for the first job, you know. Oh, you have to fix it. You didn't happen until you worked on it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you didn't even pay for the first repair yet, you know.
Yeah.
So he left and left me a horrible review. You know,
these guys are crooks.
Crooks and all this.
Crooks and just garbage.
But I reply with my side of the story, and people say that review is
is it registered as
a? They could see it made it all my other 5 stars legitimate.
Right.
And they could see that the guy was just being unreasonable.
Is an opportunity, and I put that. And I got to tell you, I tried to be. I said, that guy, I said. I am really
when I lived in
but here's the other side.
Red Hawk, you could not have a commercial registered vehicle. Those are public streets as well. I don't know how they do it.
There's no way we could have known that would happen over
I mean, it's the roads inside of a regular neighborhood like Highlands Ranch.
You know, next time I would encourage you to have to do
I don't know.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Steve is on the line with an HOA parking problem I'm researching. I think I found the answer. We'll go to him in a second. I want to give Deputy Daff Maureen's problem to work on, okay? And see in a nice way if she will talk to him into relating her request that she pay for her stuff. And Tony, our one guy said, you know, $1,000. But I want to see somebody who actually does this every single day, what they would pay if we can get a hold of him. Did you try to get a hold of Mark? I'm sorry. Let me see where he is. Oh, there he is. Tony, I'm gonna try to get Mark by text. Okay. I think he's listening. He always does. Usually he might be out of town, but he's a wholesaler. He's not on the referral list because of that. He doesn't do anything with consumers. Yeah, there he is. Okay. So I'm going to tell him to call me, and then we'll see what happens. So hang on, Tony. Steve the painter has a unique situation.
It's horrible.
He's parking his commercial truck in front of his house on a public street. He lives on what looks like a cul-de-sac. Is it a cul-de-sac, Steve?
Yeah, it's a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, whether a cul-de-sac or not, it's a public street. And it's in a subdivision, and you suspect they do not want you to park there because you have Trump, Pence, Make America Great Again, and other bumper stickers like Don't Tread on My Gun Rights, and stuff, and then something about motorcycles. I mean, I don't know if it's that reason or not. I imagine they don't want any commercial vehicles, but I want to ask you, did you notice any other commercial vehicles that they allow to park on a regular basis outside?
And is it a commercial license plate, Steve?
No, as a matter of fact, it's a normal license plate, and I pull a 26-foot travel trailer.
Yeah.
I pull my Harley trailer, and I will be honest, I do load ladders, but I do not leave those ladders on my truck all the time.
I notice. It doesn't matter. It says here, it is noted that you have a commercial vehicle or trailer, not with our guidelines, and it says a commercial vehicle or trailer is defined as blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on to, I think by their definition, it is a commercial vehicle. I wouldn't split hairs. I think it is. And it says all commercial vehicle trailers must be parked in the garage. Commercial vehicles will not be given approval to be parked in the street. Box and flatbed trucks are prohibited. Please remove your trailer or vehicle within 15 days, blah, blah, blah. Now, everyone's going to say, how can they control city streets? The answer is they can't. I'm going to give you an example, okay? If I am legally parked on that street with a commercial vehicle, they could do nothing. Do you know why?
Why?
I didn't agree to their rules. You see, I can actually make a rule that, Steve, you know, we don't want you to smoke cigarettes. We can make a rule. And even though you're doing it on your property, inside your house, we can make a rule. We can make a rule. And you don't have to agree to it to live there. You don't have to agree to it. You'd have to fight it at that time. It's not the public street. This is the odd part. I can park my truck there. I can park my commercial vehicle anywhere I want. Now, the police may give me a ticket, or if it's otherwise against the law, for example, overnight parking or something, for some other reason, then I would get in trouble. But your homeowners association has no authority over me. They have authority over you because you gave it to them. That is the rub. You're the one who agreed to this, I think. Now, the reason I say I think, Steve, somewhere in your paperwork, you signed the bylaws and you signed the covenants saying you would agree to them. So you actually agreed to subject yourself to this, even if it's not their jurisdiction. You agreed to it.
You know, I don't think this is going to matter, but I believe the house is in his mother's name.
In my mother-in-law's name.
If he did not buy the house,
he did not.
And if he did not agree to it, then there's some splitting hairs here. But I don't know what he signed. I'm not going to give advice based on that. You know, you might want an attorney to go over the closing docs, because what it might say is that as a homeowner, it might say you agree that you and your occupants or residents, it might say that. Therefore, even though they can't go after you, they might technically go after whoever signed that, taking responsibility. All I'm saying is it's not as simple as regulating the public streets. They absolutely cannot regulate public streets. They can't. But they can regulate you if you let them. They can regulate your wife or your mother-in-law or whoever. So I don't know the rules. I don't know what you signed. I don't know what the homeowner there signed. So that would be very interesting. It would be a good test case. But it depends on what you signed. I know for sure if I parked my car there, I wouldn't get a letter from the HOA. They couldn't do anything to me if I parked a panel van out there, unless I was otherwise breaking a city law. So you ought to go through the closing docs. Who actually owns that home?
My mother-in-law.
Does she live there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she lives there. So your mother-in-law is the one then who agreed to all of that.
Yes. As a matter of fact, Tom, you met her. She was in your radio station here.
Oh, you left her the sweet.
I know. She is sweet.
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So why don't you get the closing docs? And
okay, we're trying to find the closing docs and so far as the covenants and that, and it's been kind of a bear. You almost have to be a real estate agent.
Well, I think
that
a title company might have copies that if you remember the title company.
Or we could find it.
And here's the deal. You would have agreed to it. I have never seen a closing yet. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I've not seen one yet where they don't make the owner agree to the covenants and the bylaws and the HOAs. So that's what I think. 303-713-TALK. Mark, do you remember anything about parking, like in your cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Is that city streets or is that a private?
I'm sure it's city streets, and you just nailed it. I mean, in him, by living with her there, basically somewhat agrees to it.
She agrees to it.
That's it.
So she has to let him, you know.
It sucks, because that's his livelihood.
No, it does.
He's going to have to do something.
Now, the other thing is, your HOA, what did they say about helicopters landing?
I don't have an HOA.
You're going to have trouble. Oh, you don't? There's no HOA there?
No, we have what's called a voluntary HOA. It's $5 a year.
Roger, you got a 98 Chevy Metro. What's happening?
Yeah, Tom, I'm looking for a recommendation for a company. Because, I mean, I guess I could go onto your referral list.
Yeah.
I'd be looking at companies.
What are you looking for? Rebuilding it?
Yeah, I want to have someone pull the engine out, rebuild it, and put it back in, along with the transmission.
Guys, would you do a 98 Chevy Metro?
What's this budget for this project?
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, it'd be cheaper.
What is a Metro? I
look it up.
Tiny little thing.
Do you want to spend $5,000 on this car, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, $20,000? Are we going to put a big cam in it, a super transmission? You know, what do you want to spend on this vehicle?
Why don't you? You got to have a budget. You can find anyone for the right budget.
I'm going to say $2,000 or $3,000 just to simply rebuild the existing engine.
You'll never get that.
Not going to happen, no.
That's never going to happen.
Are you connected sentimentally to this vehicle?
The what?
Are you sentimental about this vehicle?
This vehicle, does it have some family value?
It's not worth $2,000 or $3,000.
It's so much money to do what you're talking about.
No, I mean, the car's in great shape. The interior's all in perfect shape. Everything works in it except just the engine.
Then you ought to do it yourself, because really it'll never pay for anyone to do it because the price of the car. The car is not worth $1,000.
Yeah, there's only a handful of rebuilders anymore that are really good. Jasper Engine is one of them. But
now we'll come back and talk to a wholesaler about this other deal the guy got. Hold on.
This report is brought to you by the Samsung Galaxy S9.
There's quite a few slow spots in the Highway Drive in the metro area right now. Northbound I-25 coming out of the Tech Center. Really heavy around Bellevue and 225. Lets up north of Yale, then slows down again once you get to Broadway, and it's stop and go until you get north of Colfax. Southbound slow south of the Mousetrap traveling down towards Spear. Westbound I-70 especially heavy in the elevated portion, and westbound I-70 slow on the
car. You guys a K car?
Oh, you didn't see it?
It's like a, I don't know, it's like an LTD.
This afternoon.
No, K car.
You know, the Metro, you can't.
I don't know who makes them. I'm saying it's just like it's as normal as any of them.
It's a Chrysler. Oh, they're 80-bitty.
The K car, don't you remember that was the one that pulled Chrysler out of the space?
The three-cylinder had the 5-speed or something, and then the 4-cylinder had the 6-speed or something. Yeah, it's the same thing. They later changed it from the Geo to the Chevy Brown. Yeah. They dropped the Geo moniker.
Message from Rex. I'm going to tell you something. I bought a brand new Chevy Geo Metro for my mom, which is $4 nothing. And I thought, this is a cute little brand new car for my mom. She refused to get in her. She wouldn't get in it. She wouldn't drive it. It was automatic, power steering. It was loaded. Shipped it out from Purifoy. She would not touch it. She didn't want it. I asked her why. She said,
I don't give a shit. He's an ass, man.
The tires are too small. Who's an ass man?
Bob, the car guy.
Why?
He says to Suzanne, Suzanne goes, hey, we haven't talked to you for a while. He goes, well, since I was in last Christmas, it was like 3 days after Christmas, I don't like the way Mark talked to Suzanne. I don't like the way he talks to
in front of his daughter. Hey, Jess, I was like, hey, man, how you doing? Did we piss you off or something? And he's like, I don't like the way Mark treated you and how he talked in front of his daughter the last time I was in. I'm sure Tom is a nice guy and you're a great person, Suzanne, and I'm sure Mark has some good qualities. What?
Yeah.
Well, he was wrong in the last part.
I'm gonna watch the show. Like, you know how he's just bruh.
I'm a fucking abrupt, but fuck him if he wants to say some shit like that. Honest to God.
And I wonder if that has to do with it too.
Why didn't he speak up? Why didn't he say something then, the little pussy? I would have liked to do that on the air.
I did verify that Addie was with me that day, so that's got to be the day he was talking about.
I don't remember it. I would have.
Mark, you better treat me better.
Treat her better.
I'm gonna go shopping.
Treat her better, Mark. It's a godfather.
It's like, what a dick. What a thing to say. Fuck you, man. I've been married 25 years, but he's a fucking dick. He's a dick. I've got proof he's a dick.
If you know what you're doing, why pay more than your fair share in taxes during retirement if you don't have to? Call me, Linda Gardner, to schedule your complimentary, no-obligation retirement planning strategy session. Don't let taxes derail your retirement. You can call right now, 720-488-8604.
I got carpet cleaners.
You got everything coming.
I do, man. I'm looking
Jeff, you
forward
should
to it.
get this guy. You want his number?
Mike, the carpet doctor.
I'll get you his number.
He's a Trump fan.
Yeah, he's on. You're right. He's a carpet doctor.
He's a big Trumpy. He's the only He's a gay guy, and he's outed by a lot of other gay guys because he likes Trump, and he's very vocal about it. It's funny.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Tony was given an appraisal at CarMax for $500 for his 2007 Mountaineer, is it? Mercury Mountaineer, 192,000 miles. So we just want to get a rough idea if that's close. And I'm talking about wholesaling, meaning ready to write a check. So I'm talking to a wholesaler. This is Mark Zelenka. Mark, you know, CarMax says, hey, you know, we'll take it off your hands, $500. It's 192,000 miles with it's a 2007 Mercury Mountaineer. Is it loaded, Tony?
Yes, it is.
And is it in good condition?
Yes.
Windshield cracked?
No, it's got no cracks. As far as body goes, it's got a couple dents and, or not dents, I'm sorry, dings and a couple scratches.
How are the tires?
Tires are in good shape.
Okay, so CarMax wouldn't sell this. They would just buy it from you and resell it or wholesale it, right, Mark? Do you think?
Yeah, they do. They do their own auction actually at their location.
Oh,
And, I'm sure they run it there. They're not going to retail that car.
what do you think about that price, $500, Mark? If you were writing a check at one of your dealer friends, if it was traded in, what would you pay for it?
I'm going to say roughly $1,000.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little harder without me seeing it, but roughly, I mean, if it's a decent rig, I mean, we're in Colorado, we're 2 months out of winter, it's an all-wheel drive.
Okay. And even with that many miles and all of that, so that means that they're cutting you in half. That's what they're doing. They're assuring themselves a profit there, Tony.
Okay.
Well, that's what they need to do, though. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they're them and Echo Park. I think they're just trying to get people in there to try to sell them a car with this whole we buy car thing.
Yeah, of course.
I've heard that from many customers that go take vehicles there, they're way low, they go to another dealer and they get actually reasonable trade-in value. People have been doing that for years, they'll think of push forward drag. I mean, it is true, Mark, right? I mean, you're always going to get just what the car can or less.
3,500 now, push pull drag, but they're just tagging it on the other end when you buy a car from them.
So anyway, Tony, I'm glad you got that information. Thanks, Mark. We appreciate it.
How do you know him?
Mark did a VIN verification for me when I imported a car. When you import a car from another state.
Oh, I met him.
Yeah, they have to verify the VIN.
He did the app thing too, right?
Yep, he did his own app for other wholesalers. And Mark, how's your app going?
They're about finished with it.
Did you have a lot of bugs in it?
They just took a long time. Apple was a real pain to deal with.
Are you doing this for other wholesalers, right?
Well, I wanted to do it for junk cars.
Yeah.
So when a guy with a tow truck picks up a junk car, he'll be able to put it in there, and I want to blast it out to like 20, 30, 40 junkyards in the area, and they can bid on it.
Oh, okay. So it's for junk cars only.
Yeah, as it is now, I think I just can tweak it a little bit with some more input fields, and then I think it works for wholesalers and car dealers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let us know when it's ready. Thank you. 303-713.
I was going to ask him a question if he's still on.
Oh, go ahead. He's still there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
What are you doing with the vehicles now that have the smoking and stuff? Are those? I know for a while a lot of that stuff was getting towed to Mexico or other states that don't have emissions. What's happening with those vehicles that are burning oil, basically?
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're dealing with wholesale and you see that.
I mean, there are guys that still come up from Mexico, but I don't see a ton at the auction. I mean, there are some cars that smoke there. Guys buy them. I don't know if they think they're just going to throw some rings in it and fix it, or they're going to throw some no smoke. But I know Colorado Springs, you don't have to do e-tests. I think north of Fort Collins, you don't have to either.
Right.
So they still have some value.
There's a kind of a question out there. Thanks.
So Roger had another question. He was the one who was asking about his 98 Chevy Metro, wants to know who he can get to rebuild the engine and tranny, and we were telling him flat out it's not worth it. The car's not worth $1,000, and he, but that doesn't matter. I mean, if he wants to get it done, he can, but it's going to cost every bit of $2,000 to $3,000 easy to have that done.
Oh yeah, and if you can find somebody that would actually have that built and on the shelf. That's how most builders are doing it.
Yeah.
How many miles can I get out of a rebuilt engine? Can I get 100,000, 80,000?
No, if you rebuild that little Chevy Metro, if you rebuild it truly to new specs, or even a little better, with a new with a rebuilt transmission, let's say you were crazy and you spent $3,500. Okay, so let's say he can get he could easily get 150,000. No.
Oh yeah.
200.
To me, that's cheaper than junking the car and then having to go out and pay.
Well, you know what, Roger? A lot of people feel that. A lot of people feel that way, but now you're assuming there's not going to be any other expense.
Suspension, electrical.
I'm the original owner of the car. I bought it new.
Oh.
So I know how I took care of everything.
Wow.
And like I said, the interior is in perfect condition. Has no cracks, no tears, no.
How many miles on it now?
Everything works. I think there's like 180, 190.
And it's probably burning oil.
You can probably do that all over again.
Right.
Now, you may have to put in some, you might have to do the suspension and other stuff.
Sentimental connection.
No, it's not sentimental. He is literally, he is actually thinking economically. This is a guy that doesn't have a desire.
Right.
In other words, he's not letting commercials get to him or girls, get the beautiful, shiny car. I mean, he's
not. That doesn't happen?
No, he is actually, he's probably more practical than we give him credit for. TJ, I don't know if you can do this in 30 seconds or 20 seconds. Go.
Hey, I was just going to tell Steve to get some big solid colored magnets to put on the side of his van and cover up his logos.
Cover up his logos? He doesn't even have logos. That's the point. He doesn't. It's just a commercial vehicle. All right, we'll discuss this more on the next show. I'm Consumer Ad.
The problem is he will rate it done for 35.
Yeah, they define commercial vehicles by
What's that?
This thing. The car's a bean can.
So is he actually gay because he likes guys, or does he
He's
just
married.
After working all day long, does he not want to go home and smell more wet?
Listen to me. His wedding is nicer than probably any wedding.
Wow. You missed the whole time.
Set
it up the whole time.
Come on, he was
Is
working.
he gay because he actually likes guys, or after working all day, he just doesn't want to go home and smell more wet carpet?
Horrible.
Oh, God. That's pretty good. Man, I'm going to go take a shower.
So Bob also told her, and I hate that Howard Stern guy.
Is that the 3-lug? Or
I don't like shock job.
There was a 1-cylinder, there was a 3-cylinder.
Wait, 1-1.
No,
you know what?
1 liter or 1.3 liter.
Sasha Cohen.
What's his name? I gotta watch it. You said it was good.
Absolutely puts Howard to shame.
Oh, shame. I love Howard.
Oh, my God. Sasha Baron Cohen is the craziest person that ever lived when it comes to broadcasting. No one goes out on a limb like he does. Mark, I'm telling you, it is so
I'll watch
shocking.
I'm
not going to watch it. Never do it.
Sasha Baron Cohen?
Well, he did something really cool like 10 years ago. Then he like disappeared.
He did a series of interviews as a character called Ali G, an English rapper, and he would interview people, and they thought they were on a true English talk show. And then he would be so outlandish. His goal was to see how long it took for them to walk out. It was so fucking.
That's
good.
10 years ago.
Yeah, and then before that, then he did crazy.
Well, he did the movie, which is where I saw him.
No, but this man is truly a genius. He is a fucking creative genius, but he's crazy and crude. I don't like his humor.
I know people like that. You don't like his humor, but you love it.
I love it, yes, because you can't deny he's a creative genius. Just like Stern, I don't like his humor. But you know, Stern is nonsense, but so is PewDiePie. But on a YouTube, he has 59 million.